welcome. Happy
Good evening, good
Tuesday.
evening.
Hello,
For real
hello.
this time.
What's up, everybody? Steve-O, Chris Real Boy, Twisted, Neil, Night Train.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people in here.
608.
Oh, it's baked beans.
Hope you guys are doing awesome. Link is in the chat if you guys want to join us tonight.
You know what I learned this week? I learned that Brandon Bean's wife has never met his girlfriend.
Gonna go ahead and run on past that one.
Oh, inside joke. Beans shared a tweet this week, something about some girl calling him BB, but I don't think it was originally about him. There's some hot girl in a bikini, so
that's pretty funny.
Who's this flying?
This is sub 249 gram. Actually goes by.
Clever name.
Welcome in, everybody.
Oh.
608's in the house. Danzilla, Twisted Sky, Nomad, and your host, Factus FPV. Welcome in, everyone.
This is sick.
Put my neck doing that. Too old.
You get whiplash doing that.
Yeah.
This is sick. I like how I can have one window open and watch everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. Oh.
Just means the YouTube video is starting to lag pretty hard.
Really?
Yeah, you guys' camera feeds are good, but the YouTube video just got smooth again.
I was saying, looking all good to me.
It heard you.
Right?
Need CPR over there.
Google is listening.
Always. Is there a dark view for Streamlabs? Or, what is this?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be a good idea. I thought there would be, but
I don't know why developers don't make dark by default. I mean, people who use light view
Oh my
and things
God,
that have
yes.
a dark mode option, they're absolute savages.
For real.
Yeah.
Dropbox, you listen in Dropbox?
I have everything. Yeah. I have everything in dark mode. Everything.
For real.
It's a
It
3000
hurts
nit
when
monitor.
everything else is dark mode and then you switch to
30
that one
inches
thing
from
and you're
my-
like,
Oh, it does.
Yeah, 30 inches from my
Blinded.
face. So, like, late at night, last thing I want to
Mhm.
do is open up a bright white website.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a nice streaming hack though. Like if you don't have studio lights or something,
yeah.
but you have two
Yeah,
monitors, you can just throw
I used
like
to do that too.
open up Paint and you can change tints.
I used to
and
have
Yeah.
animated bars and stuff that kind of spice things up a little bit.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't do that stuff
Usually
so
just-
much anymore.
What up, Chris?
When I'm in meetings for work, I just open up my
Oh.
Google Docs full page
There
on my
you
big
go.
monitor,
Yeah.
big white softbox, and I got the notes there too. So
You guys might recognize this footage. It's a very similar area that I flew for my long-range choose your own adventure flights.
oh yeah,
Such
Yep.
a sick idea, man.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
yeah. Oh, that was low. Did he touch there?
I don't think so, but
Oh.
definitely.
I
got
think he
low.
bottomed out a little bit on the rocks there. He had
Yeah.
a shutter. I don't know if he bottomed out or it's just like
It looks like
prop
it's
wash or
stabilized.
something.
Yeah, so where I fly is Squamish. He's in Whistler, so it's a little bit farther up north on the mountainside. But yeah, it's all kind of the same beautiful area like this. This one's really dope because it's got the two lakes in the bottom. I think I've flown this one like a year ago or so, maybe a little bit less than a year ago, but really awesome place to fly up there.
Crazy to
It's up
think
Shoulder
about how
Bowl.
old that stuff is. You know,
Oh,
like
ancient. Yeah.
Real boy.
And nobody's touched it.
yeah, because it's been under snow for a hot minute.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's getting
Gotta get
less
up
and
there
less
with some
snow up there
LiDAR.
every year, though, which is crazy. We've seen
If
more and
you can
more
see
up that mountain.
Fossils just fucking hanging out.
I used to longboard down Silver Star, Robert. I used to longboard race down it. We used to skateboard down at like 90 kilometers an hour.
90 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
That's
like
Certainly not.
Seven
Nobody can go that
cheeseburgers a
fast.
minute.
That's literally the definition of breakneck speed.
Breakneck speed, yeah. Yeah, I've only actually
Oh, this is a
broken
great
my
sunset
I've
route.
broken my pinky toe and my ankle. That was it. Never
Nice.
broken
What
anything
up,
else.
Steve-O?
Knock on wood.
Ah.
Yeah, Steve O's in the chat. Good to see you,
Shelby.
buddy.
Oh, you made it. You made it.
Cyclocross
You
track?
saw it.
I don't know, but this is a cool shot from EBR. He definitely always gives his
Look at the color.
saturation and color to his videos.
Guys, really giving her.
Right.
Looks like a Polar Pro camera.
Oh, you know your cameras too. You're better than I.
Another Polar Pro, which has really big pixels on the sensor, has excellent saturation.
That would make sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, my polars are. Yeah.
Yeah, EBR is definitely one of those guys where when you start a video of his and look at it, you're like, yeah, that's EBR. Like color grade, like his technique, his flying, everything. You know, it's getting more and more obvious, and he's a ripper, man. Obviously, he's been around for a long time.
I don't think he is using DJI.
I don't think so either, because his
his
stick
stick
overlay
cam.
has the
Yeah,
uncolor graded analog video behind it.
Yeah.
it's like
Exactly.
maybe
So I think
HD
it's-
0 at the best.
I think he's
Yeah,
still
analog.
analog. I think he's still
I
analog.
think that's the
with,
analog footage
Plus Ultra,
in the
whatever.
stick overlay.
Yeah,
Looks like digital noise, but I don't know.
It could be the split,
I'm not an expert,
run
I'm not an
cam
expert
split.
or anything.
Yeah.
Could be an older
The run cam
GoPro
split
based on the
will
way
give
the
you that.
horizon is bending. The horizon bends in an S
Yeah.
shape, which is indicative of hyperview.
He seems really fast for having a full size GoPro on there, so I would imagine it's something lighter than a 10.
GoPro's never slowed me down.
It flies like a brick though. He's catching it so fast. When he drops down, he catches it. It just you can hear the GoPro just like
it's a pusher too.
That's one way to land.
Is it?
Yeah, look.
Really?
That'll work.
Bottom of the motors there, in the arm.
Oh yeah.
Or it's just really high up tilt. Not high up tilt, but
No,
just really
you can
top
see
tilt.
in the bottom right corner. You can see the top of the motor.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah, because those aren't nuts.
Those aren't prop nuts. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Unless it's a part of the standoff or something, but I did it.
Yeah, that's like maybe it's part of like the cutout
Corner of
where
the frame?
camera is. Yeah, but I don't know.
Port lips.
So many questions. EBR, let us
Oh,
know.
where's his goggles? Ah, I should have paused it there to see his goggles.
No, we can't do it. We give it away.
Is that the quad we're looking at in that thumbnail right there?
Maybe.
Oh, tricky.
But there's his goggles.
CSI on this fish.
They're black goggles.
I'm
It looks
watching
like there's
too.
a white patch out front of it.
Yeah, they don't look like the V2 or O3 goggles.
Yeah,
So I want to say HD0.
I was gonna go HD0 too.
Or Orca.
HD0
I can
too.
think of that would look like that.
Does anybody fly orcas anymore?
Only people who are trying to sell them.
Okay. You guys ready? You're gonna find out in a second who's got the answers. Let's see here.
Who's
We
got
got
the
water
answers?
snail, maybe taking the lead. I don't know. I think it's analog, but I can't
Does it
vote on my
say
own.
in his description?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it probably
Oh,
does.
that's
I
look.
see some details on the there, but I don't see all the details. Give her another second here. 40, 40, 20.
iZone. Ooh, good one, Lambo. The B's, the old school, yeah.
Uh-huh. Which iZone would be analog for sure.
Or lips.
VTX Rush Tank Solo. An antenna.
Oh, there you go.
Oxyr Predator
Analog.
5. Boom. HD is a
Analog.
DJI Action 2 for his camera.
Okay.
Goggles
So that's why
HD
it's got
0.
the
So
bubble
it's HD
effect.
0.
Told you it was a lighter. That
Definitely lighter camera.
those DJIs are really saturated too, aren't they?
No, and not necessarily out of the box. I think he
No.
did really well with trying to maintain dynamic range, because the Action 2 is terrible with dynamic range.
Is
He
it?
did a really good job with
I
extracting the
thought it got
colors out
10
of
or
it.
12-bit with the update.
Doesn't matter. The
Is it
sensor's
still
still
junk?
the sensor. Well, I mean, the sensor has a limited amount of dynamic range, and it's not using per pixel ISO. 10-bit will just mean you get more colors, so you get less banding in your highlights and your shadows. And if you add a log profile, then you're pushing your shadows up toward the middle of the color or the luminance band, so you get more stops of exposure for your shadows. That's where you get more detail in your shadows.
Mm-hmm. Tell
Right
us
on.
more.
Yeah.
Right?
I need to know more intensifies.
Shall we start that video?
I'm the
for
worst
you,
because-
Nomad, or do you want to just take it and start, without the video, or do you want me to go into that video first, or?
Well, I mean, have you told everybody why I'm here?
No.
thought it
Welcome
was
in,
for
guys.
your
We've
dashing
got
good looks.
Nomad here. We've got 608 here. We've got Danzilla here because these three guys are very in the know with color grading and video editing and stuff like that. So I invited all three of them in here to help us, help me, help all you guys to understand and how to, make better content with just simply even taking pictures, simple pictures out of your VTX, or not your VTX, out of your camera from your videos and stuff, and just uploading pictures in different places like, Instagram or whatever, social media shit. Or even going a step further and selling pictures of amazing shots that you can capture. What's up, Max here, 420? So yeah, that's why we brought these guys in. They're very knowledgeable, and we'll give Nomad a little chance here to explain himself. And we've had him on the channel before, but explain himself and where he's coming from. And if you haven't seen his
What's
channel,
your deal, Nomad?
Yeah.
What's your MO?
What's your vibe, bro? I want to check his vibe.
Also, if you guys don't remember, he is one of the three co-hosts from FPV After Dark, and he's going to talk a little bit about his new channel stream that's going to be going on in the future as well. But yeah,
it's
all I
an
gotta say.
exclusive for you, Marcel.
Yeah,
After
I haven't
After
told
Dark?
anybody else. No,
Before
yeah,
After
2 in the
Dark?
morning. 2 in the
Yeah.
morning. That's when it
You're
starts. Before light. That's where.
Hey, you'll get the European crowd.
There you go.
So obviously I'm Nomad Ariel. People who know me in real life call me Joe, which is pretty boring. So you can call me Nomad if you want. I don't care which. So I've been in film and television for about 12 years now. I've done almost like every role on set and in post-production, and have discovered over the years that I'm the best at being a colorist. And so that's where I focused my skills, developing my skills on the last, I want to say 6-7 years, working as a colorist professionally in a freelance capacity. I've been attached to a couple of projects here and there, been to Hollywood, all that happy horse shit. It's not really anything to write home about, but all the different things people can do: editing, visual effects, sound design, camera operating, directing. I'm the world's okayest camera operator. I'm an okay editor. So I usually my cuts are simple. I don't do a whole lot of, over the top edits. I do some motion graphics, but color grading is kind of my bread and butter. So just want to delineate what Off Axis was saying. You know, I'm not a great editor, so don't learn how to edit from me. Edit meaning cutting up your footage and telling a story with it, either syncing it up to music or, you know, actually cutting up scenes. But I'm the color guy. And I think Marcel alluded to it a little bit earlier when he was introducing me before he asked me to explain myself. I will be launching a new streaming show on my Nomad Aerial channel, so you don't have to subscribe to yet another channel. And it'll be called Cult of Color. And it's going to be sort of the same format, video submission type of thing, but you'll be able to either submit videos for critique, or you can submit videos and ask for help with color grading questions. And, you know, we can either just enjoy your video, can give some feedback, or we could dive deep. And, you know, if I get some of your source video ahead of time, I can open it up and resolve and kind of show you in real time what I would do with it. So that's the goal anyway. We'll see how well that works. Streaming at 4K 60 with Resolve open is that's going to be iffy. But, so I'm happy to be here. Happy to answer questions folks have about color grading and show off a little bit of what I do. Hey, thank you. I was thinking of you doing that.
A little bit late. I'm sorry.
Nice.
No, it's quite all right. Yeah, it all the colors. So it's essentially going to be. I mean, it's going to focus on drone footage, but it doesn't have to be drone footage, right? But it's really geared towards that cinematic aspect of FPV and conventional GPS drones. So it's a little bit niche compared to a lot of the FPV drone shows out there. So we'll see how well it works and the kind of interest we can get kicked up for it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like something
Very
that's
cool.
lacking, and you definitely do well, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure.
And I'm sure a lot
Much
of people could
appreciated.
use the help as well, you know? Because I mean, like the rest of us probably get asked that question all the time. What do you do?
I was gonna say, can I be your friend? Because I do photography. I do stills. I do compositing for products and stuff like that, and I can color match and color grade in Photoshop, no problem. But videos right now, I'm such a beginner. So I'm glad to know you as a friend. I'll definitely be hitting you up.
Absolutely.
You want a little bit
I mean,
go over where you're from and what your background in color grading and stuff that you do, Danzilla, and kind of give us a little bit of tidbit.
me?
Of, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for photography, for commercial photography, and did that in Toronto for 10 or 15 years. And then I started doing the retouching thing for commercial photographers, and that took over. I don't shoot really anymore. I don't work on set anymore. I just, I get people sending me pictures. Right now I'm working on hairy rosin. And yeah, last week I was working on Volkswagen kind of stuff, you know, so you've probably seen something I've photoshopped.
It's awesome.
So yeah,
That's
I
really
can
cool.
composite. I'm a Photoshop master, but when it comes to Premiere, I'm like a newborn lamb. I have no idea what I'm doing. So don't count me as a professional in that department, kind of thing. I get the color theory, but I haven't yet to apply it to videos very well. So yeah, I'm glad that Nomad's here because I want to learn lots from him.
Hell yeah.
Well, you're not going to learn anything about Premiere from me.
Yeah.
Well, just color grading and videos. That's all.
In general,
It's a different animal for sure.
Premiere for
than
color
photos.
grading is very much Fisher Price. You're not going to get into the kind
Is it?
of knee deep weeds that you're going to be able to get into with appropriate tools. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
color science that goes around it, just as you know with photography. I mean, this is what I was talking with Marcelo about earlier, is just because I'm a colorist and I can color grade video, it doesn't mean I'm amazing at editing photos. I'm actually quite shit at editing photos, even though the concepts are exactly the same. It's more difficult, in my opinion, to edit a photo because you're having to tell an entire story with a single frame. I get to do it 24 times a second, right? At the very
Yeah.
least.
That's
So
wow.
I get a little bit more wiggle room.
Yeah.
People aren't going to see that particular blotch of noise in the corner of that one frame at that one time hack when they've already moved on, right? But when
Yeah.
you've got a photo, they're going to start pixel peeping, especially if they're also professionals. And I think there's a lot more scrutiny
That's what my
on
clients
photos,
do.
So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
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 Totally. The
Yeah, if you got
next
time to
person
look at that one
we've
frame.
had 608 in here before, obviously. We've seen 608 around a lot.
I gotta sit up now. I
Welcome
can't
in,
hide behind the
608.
little scroll and text. Yeah.
Yeah, just give us a shout out where you're from and what you've done for your
I'm
color
just doing me
grading and
dirty.
what kind of shit you've done in the past.
I'm just a dude from Wisconsin. My story isn't nearly as cool as those guys'. I went to school for graphic design for a hot minute, switched around a bit. Yeah, did military for a hot minute, and that's kind of how I fell. I've always edited. Like I realized at a young age, I started using Adobe Premiere and stuff. You know, I never paid for it, and then once I got to college, I got to get the student discount. But anywho, like editing skate videos and so forth. That's how I got started in editing, and then it just kind of progressed. Took a break for a while I did other stuff, but then getting into FPV, it just kind of came back. It's natural, has that same kind of almost feeling like an extreme sport. You know, it's like an extreme sport that doesn't endanger your body as much. It still endangers your body.
Just
you know,
your wallet.
Like, yeah, shit. Yeah, but,
Totally.
extreme sports do that. You know, snowboarding, twin tip skiing, skateboarding, even scootering costs money. You know, like that's all. You know, you're just paying to hurt yourself. But it kind of had the same feel. But so I used Adobe Suite for pretty much from a teenager until I'd say like 6 years ago. I switched over to DaVinci.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it just kind of progressed from there. I started getting more into it the more I flew FPV. Then I realized that my passion wasn't solely FPV. It was telling a story and the editing of it, you know? I've done edits and shorts for numerous people in the FPV world. I've done training videos that you may or may not have seen online in corporate settings. So like I have more of a editing background than I do like a coloring background. Coloring for me was kind of learned as a necessity. It was like, all right, I want to dive a bit more deeper into it, so I'm just going to continue going with it. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's ruined me is because of my background in photography. I can't look at raw footage and go, "Oh, that's good enough." You know, like you're saying about the necessity of color grading. I have to adjust it because it's not right out of the camera usually. You know, like so.
Well, yeah,
it goes
and
with
that's,
it. I just can't.
That's kind of. I feel like that's kind of the progression. You know, like you can like. It's hard to like when you're telling people. I was just talking about this earlier, actually. Like a lot of the time when people ask for GoPro settings, it's like, well, how much do you want to do? Like, are you going to put in the effort to learn how to color grade? And if not, then just fucking keep it normal.
I would say 99% of people who fly FPV, if I gave them my GoPro, they would not be able to do anything with the output.
Yeah. Yep. Or like showing like people who don't know, like, and you're showing it to them and they're like, oh, that looks flat and choppy. And it's like, yeah, it's because you're watching it raw. You know, like this is what video looks like.
I actually went through that with my daughter. I drove to Maryland and did some shooting of her car going down the road, and she wanted to see the raw file from the GoPro, you know, the 8x7 with custom log profile and 10-bit GP log, you know. So it looks like effervescent shit stain and it's shaky. And she's like, oh, that's cool, you know. And I'm like, just wait till I get home, okay?
Exactly.
And you know, kind of speaking to what Dan was talking about, you get to a level, you know, in your professional world where you are automatically assuming a specific standard is going to be present when you're consuming other media. And for me, coming into FPV, not the most color conscious community of people. A lot of people don't do anything with the footage that comes off the GoPro. And I've been quietly complaining to myself about it for years now, instead of actually like stepping up and participating in the community and driving the change I want to see in the community. I was just being a pretentious purist. So trying to change that around a little bit.
Opposite. I kind of just learned to, like, yes, there are good ways to get video, right? But like at the end of the day, you kind of have to work with what you got from the client to begin with. Like no matter what you ask, it doesn't matter what you ask or what your preference is. It matters what they give you, because the chances of them going out to redo it
Yeah.
are slim to none. So it's kind of like there are ways, like, and that's what I tell people. Like, if you want me to edit for you, here is what I would like to see coming from your GoPro. But a lot of the time that doesn't happen. So it's kind of like, all right, this is what I have to do with what I got, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think the saying I like is you got to piss with the cock you got.
Yeah, right.
And
In your hand.
right. My philosophy when it comes to setting up GoPros and my entire workflow is about preserving as much of the information that comes off the GoPro that was captured initially as possible.
Yeah.
When you're getting files from somebody who's already been, if it's already been like cut, then that means it's been re-encoded, which means you've just thrown away everything that wasn't that was hidden in the highlights or hidden in the shadows in the original file. And that, I see a lot of these videos like the Action 4 versus the Hero 12, and everyone's saying the Hero 12 is not worth it. And my thought is, and I think Marcel's going to play a video that also discusses it. If you're the type of FPV pilot that doesn't do a whole lot with your footage, then no, the Hero 12 is not a good upgrade, especially if you already own the Hero 8, 9, 10, or 11. There's no reason to buy the 12.
This one?
No, not that one.
The other one.
The one I linked to you, yeah. Yep, that one.
Hi.
It's me, man.
I love it. I love the best opening ever.
5-inch?
That is
Right.
good.
I get shmoo on my lens. That's great. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
That's the
people,
first
clean your
time I've
lenses
seen you
Here
out
we
every
have a face
flight.
file that comes off
All
the
right.
GoPro.
I'm gonna
So-
let you narrate.
This was,
Yeah.
this is me kind of initially learning how GP log was going to work and what they were doing in camera. The first thing I do is compensate for that log curve and then set the white balance. Those are like the two first things I do in any case. Then I will do some basic corrections for the ground. I separate the ground and sky in almost all of my videos, and that kind of is the secret sauce as to why I get so much detail in my skies. So there it is, guys.
This is
You just
I need to
mask
learn how to do
separately?
that. Key them separately.
No, it is actually done with the AI. It's called Magic Mask and Resolve
Unprovoked.
18.6, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's studio only. So and also there's I've seen a lot of people who like to do the orange and teal, which is great if it's done correctly. I don't make those adjustments on the image that has all the contrast. I make those adjustments on the original gamma corrected image, so it's very, very subtle. And I don't when I make those adjustments, I don't actually affect the contrast that's happening. I don't affect the white balance. I can do these changes independent of each other without completely ruining the image. YouTube obviously destroys my grade, especially in the skies. I noticed that last night. And I was like, I saw blocking and stuff in the skies. I was watching one of my YouTube videos last night, and I was like, no way. So I pulled up the original file. I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, it's not me. Because I can't
Are you
do the
getting
blocking.
the VP09 codecs when you're uploading? Or is it
Am I
giving you the
upload?
AEVC? Well, so like, okay, when you upload to YouTube, it kind of based off what you like your settings on your export.
Yeah, no, honestly, I've been lazy about it. I used to do DNxHR
good.
or ProRes, but some of my longer content, right? I think there's like a 500 gig limit or something like that, and YouTube is getting tired of my shit. So, but also like whenever I do HDR content, it takes ages. So whatever YouTube does, it tone maps into SDR, into Rec 709, and presents that video first and does all the transcodes for all the different sizes, and then finally gets around to doing the HDR transcodes like days later. So when I upload something and I say it's HDR, and then you get that initial wave of viewers, everyone's like, this is bullshit, it's not HDR. I looked at it on my phone. I'm like, give it a couple days, guys.
Can you if you set it up to premiere later, will it get those encodes done before it premieres? or does it not start them till after?
Yeah, no, you can. I'm impatient.
Are they
I mean,
baked?
it's
Right.
completely my fault. I'm expecting a lot out of YouTube. You'd think they would just take the initial file that I uploaded and make that available first, and then work on the lower resolutions, and then work on the SDR conversion. But they go the opposite direction, probably because
Yeah, it's weird.
it's about compute time for them. So
Right.
and bandwidth, right? They don't want to be serving up a 500 gig file for streaming. So yeah, I mean, a couple of like the really important ones I will schedule and make sure that they have a time to fully like soak in within YouTube's ecosystem before they're visible to the public. But sometimes I'm too impatient. Other times I just don't care enough. Like I kind of walked away from doing like HDR grades for FPV because it's a different workflow and it is very time consuming. I'll do it as a test every so often. For instance, like the Hero 12, I wanted to see what it was capable of, what kind of dynamic range I could squeeze out of it. Is it going to fit well in 1,000 nit grade? And the answer to that question is yes, very much so. It does. But coming back to the whole Hero 12 versus Action 4, and I watch all these reviewers poo-poo on the Hero 12 because on the surface, like as an action camera, it's incremental at best, right? But if you approach it like a cinema camera, it is a tremendous jump in technology. And GoPro's actually doing something with the Hero 12 that no camera maker has done to date, which is they have a dynamic ISO and GP log that will switch the ISO between ISO 100 and 400 on a per pixel basis. And it uses an AI
That's
model
amazing.
running on the GoPro to decide what scene it is, and it sort of colors it in real time. It took me a little while to figure it out because I was a little weirded out. In that first video that you had up, the HDR test, that's another one where I had voiceover talking about that concept.
That's crazy, man.
And that's where
crazy
for me, that's where the real power of the Hero 12 is, right? Doing that
Per pixel
control on the
ISO.
sensor. And so
Wow, that's
basically
amazing.
it's computational photography, right? Just like our cell phones do it.
Yeah.
But you notice the exposure doesn't shift like you would normally expect with a Hero 10 or an 11. And I didn't lock the ISO.
You mean like when you go from shadow to light, it doesn't
go
up and down visibly.
And it took me a while to figure it out. And I was doing analysis by like locking out quadrants of the sky to see if the actual luminance changed, and it stays very solid. I don't know if you can expand it. By default, GP log does ISO 100 to 400 to keep the noise down, I'm sure. But I noticed it in another shot where there was a really deep shadow, and it kind of lagged on choosing which ISO it wanted for that deep shadow. And at first the shadow was smooth, and all of a sudden that shadow had a boatload of noise in it, but none of the rest of the image wasn't affected by it.
Wow.
So in my opinion, that particular feature alone is revolutionary and doesn't get the attention that it deserves from the overall drone community or the action cam community. But it's also not something everybody's going to use. Right. That's not something they ever advertised or talked about. They totally undersold it.
It's amazing.
You can see how almost everything is perfectly exposed.
Yeah.
And there's no exposure shift. The only thing that's overexposed is the sun itself and reflections from the sun.
Which is fine. Just to be.
I mean, you expect the sun to be peaked, right? I mean, if you need a reference for what your maximum luminance is going to be, it's going to be the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Anything white.
Thanks, Lambo. It's a comment. Nomad looks like he would rip off our heads before getting us in goggle without sound.
Yeah.
Like you guys.
Yeah, no problem, Sammy. Yeah,
that is amazing. That is all. It's all. The exposures. Now that you mentioned it, it's like wow.
It's locked.
It was something like I could just tell that something was different. Like it took me the longest time to figure out what's going on, and then it was this video specifically when I did the HDR grade, and I'm like, because usually like you're not expecting exposure changes when you're doing an HDR grade. Right, you're expecting everything to remain the same luminance because you're grading based on luminance values, which is actual light intensity values as displayed. And so there, when you're grading HDR on something like a Hero 11, it's a lot more difficult because if you graded at a certain nit, get a big color for a certain nit level, and then the exposure shifts, and that what used to be like 100 nits is now 200 nits, then the color that it had previously is gone. You got to account for that. So you really have to be general in your HDR grades for those cameras that it shift exposure. Like this is a really great example of that shifting exposure that you don't see on the Hero 12.
Yeah, you see the sky go up and down
Going
there.
through there. Yeah.
This is a cool rip, though.
That's wild. Yeah, like you said, they must have undersold it because this is the first I've heard of it.
They've mentioned nothing about that bidding, and it was the noise in the shadow that gave it away for me. The fact that the noise wasn't there, then the noise all of a sudden was there, but the actual luminance value didn't change. They just switched ISO on it.
Check out Polaris.
I think you just sold me on it. Nice dive.
Yeah, Polaris is ripping it. Every time I've seen Polaris, it's a ripper. Yeah.
I'm freaking nervous about those things, man.
I think this is
one of those antennas is going to knock you out, isn't it?
What?
This is your progression highlight reel.
I'm going to fly past the tower like that and just get knocked out of the sky. I know it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near the towers, depending upon what frequencies you have in use. And even if you're not, I mean, even if it doesn't overlap with your frequencies, just the RF energy alone can overwhelm the front end of a transceiver, and you could lose your connection.
I think the trick is to approach it cautiously at first. And see what happens as you get a little bit closer, go all the way around it a little bit closer.
Hell yeah, this is a cool rip. I like a spot like that, doing that. That's sick.
I like that. Yeah.
This is cool. Fuck yeah. That's like half piping it or something. Full pipe.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's a ripper.
It's good control for the power loops, so you don't you go back the right distance.
Polaris FPV, definitely check him out, man.
He's fantastic. I always loved his videos.
Yeah,
very cool.
I don't usually see him in chats very often. I think he's more of just like a post and whatever. I don't think I've ever seen him in chat. Link your stink. I'll post it in a bit after this video.
Link your stink.
Fuck yeah.
Link your stink.
All right.
I've only been able to have a handful of flights with the Hero 12, so I haven't really been able to see like everything I can extract out of it. And I felt like I could extract an epic ton of detail out of the Hero 11, even the 10.
Whoa.
More so the 11 because of the 10-bit color.
Did you see the backwards fucking wall ride?
That would be me just smashing my drone into the wall.
Yeah.
That was beauty. That was beauty. All right, I'll just give you a link now. Wait, why is it so big? That's what she said.
While we're at a few minutes, I got look what I got in the mail today.
Nope, I'm not gonna do
it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Stickers in the mail.
Those are fancy.
And a bunch of random
47,
crazy.
I'm 47 years old and I go crazy for stickers. I don't know what the heck happened to me in the last
I'm not a sticker guy, but I love that 80s aesthetic.
What's your favorite?
Oh, speaking of which, look what else you got in there. I got He-Man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got all kinds. Thundercats.
Oh,
my goodness.
Thundercats. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, when I was in Afghanistan, I bought the full collection of Thundercats from the Haji Mart. You know, it was like they just burned the MP4 to like fucking CDs, but greatest $20 purchase ever. I got those and Transformers. Oh man, classics.
There you go. That was the best. Because he's Danzilla terrible.
I'm still waiting for the Bob's Burgers Archer crossover. Like, you know how they did it the one way? I want to see it done the exact same episode, but done in Bob's Burgers animation.
They should all show up at fucking Bob's Burgers.
That'd be so great.
That'd be funny.
So I ended up buying this collection of stupid 80s stickers from Amazon because I had a brand new helmet that I bought. So I ended up buying all these like packs of stickers. So I got all. These
Oh, those are amazing.
Oh, sick. Back to the Future.
Towards Brandon Big
Yeah, I got
Beans
one of those
has
in
this
there.
set, and
Back to
Danzilla
the-
has
Back
the
to
other
the
half.
80s.
So whatever
Johnny
Danzilla
5
has,
is alive. Ooh, right on the sensor.
and there's the gummy bears too. You see the gummy bears?
Dang.
Yeah,
Gummy
nice.
bear.
Living
Teddy
the dream.
Ruxpin.
Yeah, I got
Teddy
that
Mask.
one.
I don't know if you guys remember Mask. Mask was like that old
Oh, I remember
fucking
Mask.
show with the trucks and shit,
Yeah.
big transport trucks. But yeah, She-Ra. Got Mr. T up there.
608 might be getting a little bit lost right now.
Yeah, I was at late 80s.
Yeah, I'm late 80s too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny 5.
I know what most of those are.
Johnny,
You know who this is? This is probably your
who's
era.
Johnny?
Oh, it's very
Inspector
well
Gadget.
Inspector
Yeah,
Gadget.
Inspector
Yeah.
Gadget.
I could recognize it without it,
Nice.
without it even
Right.
being in
Just
focus.
that it was blurry. Yeah, I should have did a contest. What blurry picture of a sticker is this?
What was the other one? Biker Mice from Mars. That shit was rad.
Yeah, it's again that's late 80s for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
yeah,
familiar
I
with
ended up
that one.
dividing up a bunch of shitty, crazy, not shitty, but old school stickers to give to people.
That's dope that you can actually just get those, Like those are all good
Right.
stickers.
Yeah, it was only like
Amazon's great for
$5
that
each or
stuff.
something. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
I got like
Yeah.
300 like rock and roll stickers, all different like band stickers and everything. I put
Yeah.
them on my ammo boxes for my batteries. So like I know my 6S box has got all the rock and roll stickers on it, and then my 4S box has all the car stickers on it. So
I have like 2 shoe boxes full of FPV slaps. Real.
Just
Like,
not a
I don't know if
sticker
he's
guy,
here.
I guess.
I sent one of mine to one of my stickers to Riot 9 down in Australia, and he just the other day stuck it up on the Surfers Paradise sign at the beach
nice.
for
Fucking
me.
cool.
Hell yeah.
That's dude. Right on. I sent him a package years ago. I had a giveaway back when Jank was on the stream, and it was not an expensive package by no means, but I ended up getting lost and sent back to me. And it took like
Oh, no.
months. I think it was like 2 months, and it came back to me, and I'm like, and it was because the address was off by one number or some bullshit. And I was like, "Are you kidding me,
Jesus.
man?"
Yeah.
It went all the way to his neighbors and back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, coast to coast
That's
drones.
hilarious.
How you guys
That's
doing,
nuts.
everybody? Thanks for coming in. Off grid.
And there's all those X's and 2s and shit.
Oh, it was so silly.
VAT.
Uh,
It was
Yeah.
so silly. I got a
It's
video
hard- it's
lined
hard,
up
man.
here from something I haven't seen yet. It's fucking pretty badass. It's called La Mecca de los del Motor. It's 21 minutes long, so I'm going to give
What?
you a quick preview of it. A link in the description.
No, play the
Not
whole thing.
description, but in the
21
Everybody loves it
minutes.
when you play 20-minute long videos.
Yeah.
all right.
That's the normal now.
It would take a
Right.
nap
I don't
and
see
shit.
20-minute long edits from all of you.
We would
because-
lose all the Gen Zers if we did that.
Yeah, TikTok would be famous again. in my opinion. Anyway, I
No, what
actually
you
have
do
a
is you
TikTok
release
account, by the
one
way.
edit of 20 minutes and then you release like 200 couple
Yeah.
seconds.
That's what I do on TikTok. And it
As a
does
choose
really
your own
well, so it's
adventure.
like-
Just kidding.
Stay tuned for part 2. Yeah.
Pick
Follow
part
for part
2
two.
or
If-
fuck off. Pick
If this
part
gets
2.
1,000 likes,
Yeah.
I'll release part 2.
Yeah. And
Your
if it
second
doesn't, you're
option
going to
is
see
just
my
a picture of
butthole.
someone. Yeah, same.
Welcome to TikTok.
Yeah. Welcome to TikTok.
Ooh.
All right. Link is in the
The
chat.
Nürburgring? I've actually driven
You
this.
guys
track.
are actually going to see
Oh,
some
shut up.
really
You
cool
have
shit
not.
in this.
Yes, I
We're
have.
going to
A
play
few
it at
times.
2
You
times
rat-
speed. No, just
You
kidding.
rat bastard. My
Once
Johnny
I
seat
clip
goes
it,
It's
to
open to
bounds.
the public, so I
Once
mean,
on my sport, but yeah, it's just an open
Oh,
toll road when there's no races.
Oh, I've never been to Germany, but if I've been to Germany, then you damn right I'd go drive
wonder
it.
if having a big
Yeah,
obnoxious
for sure.
ringer in your car and then towing it on a trailer hurts your gas mileage with more extra drag.
Probably.
Makes your trailer fast as fuck.
Adds
Yeah.
65 horsepower to your trailer.
Downforce.
I'm waiting for the
Downforce on your
FPV part.
trailer.
There's an FPV part right here. It's coming up
Oh,
right
yeah?
here. You ready for it?
That'd be great to go fly at the Nürburgring.
That would be
Go
Right.
for it.
Muy bien, Manuel.
Come on, pour.
You're gonna
Come
need
on,
some
right
props
after.
for that. I think that's an
Pouring
8S.
molybdenum disulfide.
There's
into
the
his-
drone footage. Oh, saw it.
Right there, that little bit.
That
That
little
wasn't
bit.
that wasn't FPV.
Here we go. No, that's
That was
a
like
car
shaky
drone.
DJ.
There it is.
Nice.
There you go.
I
That's
don't
it.
think that
That's
was
all you can
FPV,
see.
though.
That was it.
Oh.
Good video. The 20-minute video. Go watch it. It's only got
Well, I
little
need a
bit of drone
cigarette.
footage.
Thanks for that. I'm spent. I don't know about you guys.
That was whew.
I'm
10
also
out of
kind
10.
of
Hard
blown
and
away that there's not more drone footage in this. It's all
Shaky handheld vlogging footage is
This guy does a
just,
bunch
I
of
find it
cool
personally
shit.
offensive at this point.
Right.
Pretty much.
You
You
know
got to
who's
be
really bad
really
about shaking
interesting for me to
handheld
watch
footage?
it.
Hoonigan. I don't know if you guys watch any Hoonigan.
Oh, I have not. I've seen a few.
Yeah, I do.
They just shake the shit out of their cameras, I think, on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very it's very hard to watch.
Ooh, the new West
They got a
Side
loose
Foot.
connection
Yeah.
on their little selfie stick.
Yeah, like they didn't tighten the
I don't know,
handle
but like
down all
I
the
would
way
say
or something.
most of them they're just walking around with a GoPro. I mean, like Gyroflow is free and easy. It takes 2 seconds to just throw all your clips into Gyroflow.
But doesn't GoPro have built-in? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Rocksteady
does.
or whatever.
It has,
Yeah,
It's not
it
as
has
good. though.
hyper smooth and stuff, but it's never like
it's not as good as Gyroflow.
I've never actually
resolution.
used the hyper smooth on my GoPro. I've always just used Gyroflow. So
I think I tested it once
just
and
went
was like,
oh yeah, it's bad.
it's just obvious.
Yeah.
It's permanently cropped in, so there's no. It's nice because there's no zooming, but like if you have it turned on, you're flying straight and smooth. You don't get your full frame.
Right.
I would rather be able to. I want to have a part in which pixels I discard and throw away.
Oh,
This is
I hear
beautiful.
that.
West
I
Side
love this
chasing his
stuff.
shadow. You guys haven't checked out West Side before? What the hell are you talking about? You haven't seen West Side? Broncos? Little fact.
I did
I'm
do
glad this
4
panel-
packs over the lake today, but
Ha, 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 ha. That's beard and facial hair age.
oh, that riot guy.
What a riot.
Riat, as Bardwell
By
calls
the
him.
ages of the panel is 2023. We should figure out what the combined ages is.
Oh yeah, 47 here, so almost 40 here.
Almost
There you
44.
go.
It only counts when you're like 6, though.
Yeah,
Like I have to stop and think and try to remember how old I am. So
yeah, right. I just tell
Let's
people the
get
year I
this
was
up,
born.
that's
I
it.
don't care what age I am.
counting on your fingers.
Born in
I'm like,
88.
I'm like
Figure it out.
122 in dog years.
That's funny.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Very awesome shots.
great shot. Could have done more with the sky.
Riot 9, I always thought you were way younger. I don't know why.
He only
Particularly
acts like a
everybody I've
child.
ever seen. I just think everybody I've seen who flies FPV is at least like under 30s. Because like usually, like for me, like skateboarding and stuff, everyone's kind of younger. I'm always usually the older person. So
I think there's 2 distinct crowds.
way younger.
Like
Yeah,
I've noticed that there are folks who are our
Yeah.
age, and then there is the sick rip bro type of guys.
I feel like it too. The older you get, the more you get into planes, and the more you get into DJI stuff, and away from doing like, crazy trick stuff. I'm still.
The only reason I do crazy tricks is because it is like practicing those skills is really good for being able to fly precisely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Yeah.
a freestyle pilot.
And it's fun.
but I can do some.
And
Yeah,
it's
it is
fun.
fun. It's gratifying when you really nail it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to scoop the shit out of your pants
yeah.
when you don't crash and you think you're gonna.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't
always
wear
fun.
pants.
I've been having some crazy long range.
No
Just
pants
shit right on the
FPV.
ground.
That'd be awesome. You should
I've been
change your
having
name to
some
No
crazy
Pants
long range
FPV.
adventures with Conrad talking Rad.
No
that,
pants.
like it feels like more like a roller coaster ride, long range. In like
Yeah.
that kind of mindset more than.
I would love to get a
doing,
hold of
like,
that guy's footage. I could do some really great shit to it.
He
it looks
actually is
fantastic.
looking for
It is.
somebody to do it. He's actually looking for somebody. So Nomad,
Who?
you're on.
Are you talking about the one we just saw, or are you talking about Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one are you talking about? Nomad? Are you talking about Falcon? Or are you talking about that guy's? Nomad?
With the long range that we just watched.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the desert.
West side.
Yeah.
Yeah, the desert.
Yeah.
Well, Falcon Red's got some gorgeous stuff too.
But yeah, Falcon Red is actually looking for somebody to do some video editing work. So if anybody in the panel here wants some work, he's definitely interested because he's got a shitload of footage. Every time I talk to him, he keeps asking me who. And I think Danzilla did a little bit of work for him recently on something. Is that right, Dan?
I did some product shots for him. His frame designs.
Yeah.
I did, basically color correction on them because he shot them in different conditions. So the carbon fiber was all different colors. Some of them were blue black, and some of them were like a really red black. So I had to make them all look like carbon fiber equally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did some color correction for him.
That's sick. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be looking for help as well in the future as well too. Once I start getting money coming in again, so you guys, you guys are great at what you do. So if you guys ever need work, hit up Falcon Rad right now. He's looking for people to do a little bit of video editing, color grading, and stuff like that. So if you guys are into it, definitely helping the community, helping a good person. He's got way too much footage laying around though. It's the worst because every time I fly with him, it's amazing, and he gets super stoked. Well, you can see on that video how it changes that color, eh? Like we were just talking about how it kind of swaps back and forth.
Yeah.
You can see it in the hay.
That's actually automatic white balance. So when his camera is pointed at the sky, it's picking the white balance based on the star. When he points it at the ground,
and then it goes back to being white.
Yeah, so that's also a big no-no if you want to really get into color grading. You can't have it. You can't have automatic anything really.
I haven't used white balance in a long time, especially for that. You see that so often that it's so hard to color grade each shit because you have to cut it from there. And, oh god.
Yeah, it's just like HDR color grading with dynamic exposure. Like what you choose for a specific color, all of a sudden it's no longer that color because your entire image shifted.
Right.
But even picking the wrong color temperature is better than picking automatic color temperature. Because if it's the wrong one, at least it's steady and it can be
stable.
Changed in post.
Well, I would say yes and no.
Degree.
If for
to
HDR
some degree,
grading,
of course,
if you pick the wrong white balance in HDR, it will become super apparent in the render and not while you're grading. You have to I have a color card that I use, and I just put it in front of my drone in the light and make sure that it's exposed properly, and then I can pull white balance from that. Or if I'm someplace I know, like there's White House across the street, so I can pull white balance when I take off out of my driveway. But yeah, HDR, if you get it wrong, it's really wrong. It's like super wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, real boy.
Yeah,
Oh, that was real boy.
Subscribe.
real boy.
All right, so this is a quick little video I'm going to run through. I'm going to speed through a little bit.
Black
These are
sun.
all drone photo awards that happened this year. We're just going to go through some picks, and maybe if you want to talk about each one and stuff like that, about the effects and stuff.
That's a great shot. That
if you want
almost black and white shot of that boat.
Yeah,
That black and white shot of the boat, or almost black and white, is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even
Well
think
done.
it was desaturated at all. I just think it happened to be the angle.
Yeah, just well done all around.
Wish I could come off of the. Yeah, I won't make come off the title there unless I. Yeah, as soon as I pause it, it just keeps the title there. It's lame. Oh well.
It's all good.
It's nuts.
That's pretty cool.
Volcanoes are always a win.
Right.
I would love a volcano. I've seen people do it, but
That's illegal.
I get nervous flying over water. I can't imagine how nervous you'd be flying over lava.
that's
Pretty much
obviously
just
so
gotta
far
kiss your quad goodbye at that point. You're like, yeah, this probably ain't coming back.
water.
Yeah, that's true. What is that? An actual photo, or that's got to be?
That's
got to be
like
manipulated.
on the water or something, right?
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
silt under the water.
Or it could be reflection of the clouds.
I think it's a reflection of
It could
the
be
clouds. and
reflected. But you'd think
like a plane has gone by.
I don't know if it's a reflection because there's like there's no distortion from a wake.
right.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like it's.
You can
composited
kind of
'cause
see
a
there's
weird-
like
you can see
trail
the
weird
wake
glow
because
around the
maybe?
boat.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not yeah, this looks like it's under the water because you can see that trail. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like AI.
The reflection in the
Whoa.
boat though is weird. It's soft. A reflection in the water is not soft usually like that unless it's a time lapse,
Right.
It's milky.
which it wouldn't be. Yeah, so I would think that there's some compositing there.
Mm. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I would agree with
I
that.
can see the mask. I can see the mask around the boat.
Yeah, you can totally. It's like
You
an
can
aura.
see the sharp shadow, or the sharp reflection, but then like the dark shadow. I
Yeah.
mean, the surface would have to be really light in order to get a soft shadow like that. Ambient occlusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, that's a
I'm not
boat.
looking at the highest res either, but
Skeleton. Foggy over the water. Yep. Hey, Chat GPT, draw me of this. There we go. This one's fucking really cool. This
Oh,
one
looks
is
like
like
AI
that's
to me.
also.
lava.
There's no way that's natural.
No, that's gotta be totally big. But these are all drone photo awards. I mean, I would think they would have to be real.
There's no way to. I mean, look. I can fake EXIF data in a JPEG easily.
Right?
I've done it. I've done it to win photography contests with CG before.
Oh yeah. It says that drone awards competition strictly prohibits the submission of AI generated photos. Only photographed by the camera or drones that are operated and controlled by humans without the use of AI generation content are eligible for entry. Participants who are
Yeah, but
listed-
I could do the skull in Photoshop without AI.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe that's
and anybody can fake the EXIF content if you know what you're doing.
right.
I can
Yeah.
make it look like it was shot with a Canon R5 or something like that.
Because that's fucking pretty crazy. That's like
But metadata readout. It was like a Nokia.
right.
Yeah,
Part of-
I feel like if that was
3310.
real,
yeah,
yeah, I would have seen that on like National
Original
Geographic.
Razor
I would have seen it on TikTok
That's
or something like that if it was real.
Yeah.
I would have seen that.
Yeah.
on
I would have seen it on the
TikTok.
National Geographic
Real?
feed for sure.
Is that what we've come to?
This is
that one's
beautiful.
obviously fucking
That's
fake.
This is
Sick.
That's nice.
absolutely beautiful.
That
A
great
long
color.
exposure there to get the flow
Yeah.
of the sheep are in a death circle
Nailed it.
right there. They will keep going in a circle until they die if they don't get moved.
A
Or
mosh
the
pit.
shepherd does.
Right. It's right after the drop.
Is that a two-picture scenario where you take a picture of the guy and then you take a picture of the surroundings?
It could be a composite, but I think the guy just could. I mean, really though, look
He's a
at how
farmer. He
long,
probably just stood there. Yeah.
look how long,
He's a
look how
farmer.
long the
He
motion
probably
blur is.
Took a big ass bong rip before.
I say the
hitting
motion blur.
record.
The motion blur is probably no more than 2 seconds, so it's not.
Yeah.
inconceivable
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
think
say
he
that.
didn't
Yeah,
move.
very true. Yeah. Probably wasn't all that long, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Farmers know how to chill, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I wonder
watch
if
your
there's a
crops
way.
grow.
I wonder if
He's
there's
got a
way
beer in his left
long
hand. You can't see it.
exposure with drone footage for long range. Is there like any way to use long exposure kind of shots in a video of mine or something? I think it'd be cool.
Ugh,
It's a
maybe
pretty
like a
wild
hyperlapse
effect.
or something.
Yeah. So,
Maybe like of
Long
the like
exposure
at
from
the
video?
top of the mission or like of the mountain or something, like getting the sun moving. But I don't know what else you would.
yeah.
That would be easier to like stack.
That was looking like a cool effect I would want to
stills.
try to utilize somewhere. Even
Uh,
if it's for like B-roll shit or something. But yeah.
A salmon run.
You could do like temporal blur
Yeah.
to get that
Getting
sort of
chased
effect.
by a bear in the wilderness.
A long exposure of you almost dying. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
What the
Just your trail and then some teeth
It's a
behind it.
glacier.
That is
Oh,
such a
believe it, I
weird
heard.
shot of like the muddy water and stuff. Like,
Right.
so weird.
That's like ancient dirt. That shit is like millions of years.
Dirt's got
old
diseases nobody's
grime.
ever had
Yeah,
before.
right.
And it looks
Prehistoric,
Bacteria,
like,
creatures.
I don't like
Stink.
it. It looks AI as fuck. It looks so
alien skeletons.
It's got like the OG strain of syphilis.
It has long exposure skeletons in it.
Yeah.
There's been several sci-fi movies about aliens and ice, right?
Speaking of
the
sci-fi,
end of
movie, look at
X-Files.
the alien wife and
What is that? Oh, those are
husband
trees.
husband and wife in the very bottom by the arrow on the bottom of the screen.
Mm.
So they're
Are they
running
dead?
away.
Oh, they're just laying there.
Or they're
dead.
running
No, I think they're
away.
standing. Her veil is
They're
blowing
totally
in the
dead.
wind.
Yeah, they're dead.
I mean,
Yeah,
they just got married. So what's the difference? Am I right?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a lane there. I mean, that's kind of neat, but it's also like, what kind of story are you telling with that, right?
They like
Have
just
people
bring
farmers.
laying flat on the ground, look like they're dead.
Some dick
We're-
wants to sell a
we're-
little plot of land in the middle of a field to the
What is this in
farmers.
the same thing? Like, is this their wedding photo?
That's right here, yes.
Not a
Yeah,
riot in our wedding. That's fine.
They're laying in the fire.
Yeah, that's
They
yeah, right?
fornicated.
That would actually be so. I've done weddings as a photographer before, and let me preface this by saying I absolutely fucking hate weddings, both as a cinematographer and a photographer.
Oh,
Think
don't
it
get
has
me
been
started.
like decades since I've done wedding photography, but I think it would be cool to stage wedding photos during a riot in the street like that.
Yeah, right.
Like
That'd be
just the
like
normal, just the normal
them
sweet
laying
photos
in the
you
corner
get.
of this photo.
No. Just like the normal sweet photos you get in weddings, you know, the poses and everything, but there's an absolute fucking riot happening around them, but they act like they don't know.
It's
Mm.
nothing. Yeah.
You know what you need to. You know what you're making me think of that old black and white shot, the kiss. You know, the sailor kissing the woman
Yeah.
on V-Day. You know, but instead of that, like a riot.
Well, I mean,
Like
she was not
like
pleased
he
that he
out in
did
the
that. So
background. There's just in a burning apartment building behind him.
Yes.
They lovingly kiss. Yeah.
well, Lambo just ended up on a list
Dumpster,
storming the White
dumpster
House.
fire.
Whoa.
Oh boy. That's
Yeah,
not a
somebody
flag
must
or
have got their
anything.
wedding pictures taken there.
What is this a picture of? Somebody's eyeball?
Looks like a hot spring.
It
Or
definitely
what do they call
is a
those?
hot spring of some sort. Definitely, yeah.
Or it could be like
What
one
do
of
they call
those
those? The
those
word.
cavernous areas along the Pacific Northwest where
It's an
like the water
octopus
goes in
eye.
the cave and comes popping up out of it.
Into the
My wife
ocean
probably
kind of
knows what it
thing.
is.
Like it's like, we got them down in Mexico too. It starts with a C.
Epler. Carnivorous.
Cavern.
Cab driver.
Stark white
Cab
veil. Veil.
Fail.
Whale. Stark
What's that?
whale.
What's that?
Talking
What's
about
that?
getting married. Riet.
Moon cave.
Moon cave. Ooh.
The moon cave.
Looks cool.
Looks like the cave of beans.
Cave of
Oh.
beans. Where's the beans at?
going on?
Dunes. Dunes.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's what you get for
Oh,
having your
little
house on the
flood.
Look
coast.
at the doghouse or chicken coop. And this
guess
little
they're not
floating
getting
down
home.
there too.
The doghouse is floating away.
That's kinda
Yeah.
stuck. I gotta
Well,
go
that's
back
fun.
there.
I
Look
like
at
that.
Look,
I like that bridge.
they got their little doghouse up
That
on
bridge was
stilts.
illegal
This
as
happens
fuck.
a lot here, obviously.
Mhm.
Really? Yeah. Oh man.
That bridge shot is fun with the ship going under it on the
Gonna
angle.
get to it next.
Well, just jeez Louise.
There
Yes.
you go, Danzilla. What do you got to say about this bridge? Pretty cool.
I was saying I like it. I like the colors. I like the blue and the yellow and the white and the red. There's like three
Mhm.
colors. Boom.
Yeah, they're very vibrant, very obvious.
Like a 4-strip cross process. That's what it looks like.
Needs a bit more
Yeah.
red. Needs a bit more red.
I don't know, man. I don't
You
know.
would think that.
Maybe that one car in the middle there beside the big rig.
Yeah,
just
just
give a
that
bit
one
of a
red
pop.
car.
Yeah, I
there's
need
two.
something
Yeah.
else. Speaking of need something else, what the heck?
What is happening
that?
here? Yeah.
What am
This
I
is
looking
like
at?
a
Is this the
burial.
A camel race.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say,
a
yeah.
Yeah,
burial.
I didn't necessarily.
Some
Oh,
sort
no,
of
it's a
Wait,
horse.
no, that's
a pink
that's an
horse.
animal. That's a
Pink-
horse.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Camel.
want to like pop off of the mouth in case it was like some sort of ceremonial burial type thing. Be a complete
Could be.
dick
We
about
have
it.
no
Oh.
fucking clue.
right.
Oh, it's
Maybe they're
standing.
burying
The
the
horse
horse.
is standing.
Once you see it,
No, the
now,
horse
you
is
can see it.
standing.
It's hard to see.
Are they just burying the horse alive?
No, I
No, the
think-
horse is standing. Everybody else is sitting except for the guy right beside the horse. Looks like he's about to get on it.
Yeah, he's the only
The
dude
horse is
without a
standing.
green
I
headband.
think they're blessing something. I think they're blessing the horse, or
Maybe.
they're blessing the person to get on the horse, or something.
Man, could you imagine all that sand in your eyes? You're the
They're
horse, and
using-
you're like, thanks, guys.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
ninja.
yeah.
It's the Ninja Turtles. Of course
least-
it is, right?
Yeah.
At least it's a drone and not a real
Ninja
helicopter.
Turtles.
Oh my God, there'd be no sand left.
Foot Clan.
Foot Clan.
Ooh,
Ninja
okay,
vanish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, next one.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though. The green pop's real nice. The pink is really subtle, but like obvious as all fuck, right?
Oh.
This one's kind of
Wow.
cool.
Is that boat actually in the
Fun.
water and the water's just that clear? Or is he?
No, it's
Oh,
mud.
he's
It's,
dragging it.
Yeah, he's
Shallow.
dragging it.
yeah.
He's dragging.
There are easier
Portage
ways to
even.
use a boat, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, I can't
He's
put it
taking
on
out
his
the
head.
walk.
Out of
You
those.
can't portage by putting it on his head, right? Because he's already got a hat on that takes up that much room. He'd have to take his hat off to put that.
That's how he
thing on
shoots
his head,
lightning.
'cause that's how you gotta portage it, right? That's how I would do it anyway. But that's a pretty heavy boat to portage by yourself.
He's got a long day ahead of him. He's going upstream too.
Yeah, right? Oh shit, eh?
Hopefully that's the end of it.
Without a paddle too.
Yeah.
Fuck. Speaking without
Those
a paddle,
penguins or
these
the
guys
people?
are like
Dude,
living
that
in the
looks
wrong area.
like it
dude.
stinks.
Are those
That
people?
whole- this-
You can
Are they
smell
people?
this photo.
So this
No,
is
those
a
are
shot from
penguins,
Burning
aren't they?
Man. This is a shot from
What?
Burning Man. No, just kidding.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
was
was like,
saying.
no, it's not. That's the shit pit in the middle, girl.
Oh, they're penguins.
They were stuck there for days.
Penguins, you meatheads.
That's gross as
That's
fuck. That
looks
smells.
very
This
good.
picture smells. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
does
smell it.
pretty-
Look at the
Smells like
penguins
goose-
standing in the shit
smells
pit.
like
They're like
goose
brown.
shit
And the
and-
ones who like
and
lingered off are
uranium.
still fucking crusty.
The
Look at
shit
them, dude.
pit.
Yeah, look at it. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, there's
You're
the
a
penguins.
madman.
Yeah, good eye.
That
It's
is
definitely
gross.
penguins.
You sure this is the
Or a bunch of
Woodstock?
people in white shirts.
It's a Florida beach.
Florida Beach. Yeah, it could be.
Well,
Never
that's illegal.
surrender.
Never surrender. Never shall never give up.
Are these penguins too?
I grab Thor's hammer.
No, these are zombies. I'm just kidding.
Looks like
Prime
Prime
Israel.
Minister, that's punny.
Yeah.
That little banner up there. What's one of
One
the
of the
middle
other
saying?
one says upside down. I think the red one, but I can't read it.
Release before starting. It's like one of those tags. Pull before flight.
Good eye.
No step.
Yeah.
No step. Oh, what up, Control?
What's up, guys? Welcome in.
It's
This is a- looks like a
Caturl.
fucking
It's not
party.
control. It's Caturl.
Turl.
Get it right.
Turl.
Caturl.
Where do you guys think that
Wasn't
is?
that,
New York?
The Simpsons, when Homer was working from home,
Yeah.
he's trying to find the Caturl. Where's Caturl?
Whoa. What do you think this is?
Well, it's
that
clearly a
more lava?
volcano.
You think?
Yeah. The
Really?
thing that's deceptive about these pictures is people have never been near lava flows, have no idea how much radiant energy that's coming out. The infrared
Yeah.
and ultraviolet coming off of hot lava.
Hmm.
It is, you can't get close to it. Like if you fly a drone directly over it, you better just
Melting
fly
it,
like
yeah.
past it. You can't stop and
Yeah.
hover.
Those people are
I think
in,
too,
the
we're not
fucking
used to seeing these
tinfoil
angles
suits chilling next
these
to it.
things.
You know,
Right.
Like, stuff's
These
gotta
angles
be-
are crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's actually that's a really great point. Nobody really understood. Nobody really knew what a volcano caldera or crater looked like before drones, right? Because I don't. I mean, there
no,
might have been a
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
helicopter pilots dumb enough to fly over it, 1,500 feet up, but even then, the turbulence coming from
crazy places.
the hot air would be insane.
For
But
real.
I mean,
bet.
like we're getting to see some angles that just never existed before, thanks to drones. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was trying to explain it to my parents because there was a car commercial on the other day. How we're all used to the horizon being so nice and level, neat and tidy, like taking a car commercial, for example. And then this one had FPV footage in it. And I was like, whoa, there's FPV footage. And I'm like, see, like it's a completely different shot. You're not used to it. You're not used to seeing the horizon go,
yeah,
like as the guy
yeah.
rolls over the Mustang driving down the highway. You know what I mean? Like it's such a different
It's That's
energy.
funny.
It's such a different
My
perspective.
wife and I always point at the TV and go, drone shot. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what
Yeah.
we're watching.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's like, yeah,
we
yeah,
just ate shit.
that was cool.
Yeah, I seen that earlier today, so I had to fucking post that up. I think that was
Yep.
like 3
Oh,
days ago or something.
love
My
how,
Nine
like,
Goggle
days
battery is
ago.
never that full.
The GoPro $1 million winner was some guy who stuffed a GoPro in a tennis ball or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
you
yeah.
saw
like-
mine, yeah.
I'm like, do I need to like directly send my videos to GoPro? Like, look, you guys, I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
I can do magic with your
Well,
cameras. Come on.
he didn't win $1 million though. He didn't win $1 million. Every time they do it, they give out $1 million to everybody who makes it
It's a
into the
pool.
video. So
Yeah.
they break it up. So if
Yeah.
there's like
Still.
100 people in there,
You know how
they'll
much
each
money
get
I've made from
100
GoPro?
Oh yeah, about as much as me.
The Drunko guys, each one of them
Something
has
else we
won
have
the
in
$1
common.
million GoPro challenge a different year. West
Yeah, it's
Side,
still a good chunk of
Virginia,
money.
and Cmyk. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It would buy some GoPros.
Definitely.
One or
They should
two.
give you the money
Can I-
and a
Can I
free
take
Yeah,
my
I'm
award in
hoping-
GoPros, please?
Yeah, I'd hope they give you a free GoPro. But that's kind of like that's the catch is you have to use the newest GoPro for it to enter into it.
Oh,
you
do
know?
you?
So yeah.
I don't have that problem.
Well, that's like you wouldn't need it. Like I mean, I guess you could use it. Everybody.
So I
could
need to
use
buy a 12 if I wanted to have a
Exactly.
chance. My 10 is
Yeah.
not good enough anymore.
it. No, you have to use the newest thing. That's how they feature their
Got it.
shit.
Rat bastards.
They're pretty much just paying you to get commercials for them. You know.
So,
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you're
for sure. It's totally worth
Felt
$1 million
that then.
to them. Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, does it have to be just the raw shot off the GoPro? Or can it be edited?
That's up to debate.
Oh,
That's okay. So that's up to debate because
I
their
think you should
rules.
edit
Their rules say that it is it should be raw footage, no after things. But then I have seen entries that have made it to last level, and it's clear as day there has been editing done. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I
why
don't
have
know.
GP log if I'm not allowed to
You
use
have
it for
to
a
be
contest?
able. I think you have to be
Right.
able to produce the raw footage, but I don't think you have to enter the raw footage. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Enter your mom's raw footage.
yeah.
Ayo.
Like
Whoa, buddy.
it's one of those tricky things. 'Cause I asked about that because, like I said, Westside, Virgin, and Spoonie J have all won it different years, and I was wondering, I'm like, can you not edit? Because yeah, like exactly that would like, what's the point of them having that kind of dynamic range if you're just using normal, you know? Like,
No,
Right.
just yeah, for sure. No, I'm pretty sure you could probably edit it. They're probably
Yeah.
against like motion graphics and stuff like that, or weird
or
AI
V,
stuff.
yeah,
You know,
VFX.
color correcting and grading and
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
feel like there are a couple people who do what I do with GoPros who really just like take GoPros beyond what they thought the limit was for what the kind of detail you can get out of them and the kind of color you can get out of them. And I feel like it's
Mhm.
underserved in that GoPro community, right? Where it's guys stuffing GoPros in tennis balls who are winning tons of cash and get to always get their hands on the latest gear and whatnot. And I'm just a guy with 10 bits and 12
Just a guy.
megapixels.
Just a guy.
10 bits and a prayer.
Just a guy.
Just a guy standing in front of a
Send
GoPro,
Nomad somewhere awesome to film it.
asking
Send
it
him
to.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just a guy standing in front of a GoPro waiting for it to overheat.
That should be a clip.
Because I've
for
never
your
had a
channel.
problem with GoPros
for
overheating.
real. My 10 is the only one.
Is anybody
I-
else? Is
when
anybody
that
leave
was-
theirs on? GoPro, start recording.
Oh boy.
I turn that shit off. I don't use voice.
Worse
I don't
than
use
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I use it on my drone all the time. I love it. I love it on the drone. I don't have to touch it. I just talk to it. It stops recording.
Alexa, set an
Put your
alarm for
battery on.
3:30 a.m.
right.
Yeah, that stuff. I use smart features that way, but not with my GoPro. Just because
Yeah.
I want to consciously touch it and make sure it's recording and shit.
And
anyways,
I still
you know?
forget that it's recording.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
it was recording and I turned it off and then flew. Like I already
Yeah,
hit
I've been
record
there.
and then I go down
Or
to
it
check
was
hit
recording,
and
but it
then
was a
turn it off.
hyperlapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
All of our
Worst
best,
is
all of our best
have-
packs were being recorded.
My best pack was recorded sideways. You know, like when I hit record on the drone, I was holding the fucking GoPro sideways or something, so it locked.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I lock all those settings.
I turn
ahead
that
of
off,
time,
too.
so there's no way I can screw it up. There's no way I can. screw it up.
Yeah, that's I have the.
All I gotta
QR
do is
code
just hit the
on.
record button, and it
Yep.
turns on, starts recording, and then when I hit stop, it turns off. So
Here's a nice little tip
Oh,
for the viewers.
dude.
Go get yourself
Next time you're
some
talking to your
white
friends at
cards, even
GoPro,
from
I don't know if they've done
Amazon,
it with the new
for
camera.
like $12, and then you can put your
don't know
QR
if-
codes for your profiles on the back of it. So that way you just
Yeah.
fucking flop it. There you go. I got this gun. You can make sure all your GoPros are synced in the same settings, and then right there you got your white card in front of it.
where's it gonna be a white card?
Well, 2 for 1. If you're gonna do white,
Yeah,
even white
okay,
balance
okay.
off it.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that back. Let's see you talk
I was
yourself out
going
of
to
this one.
say, let's get GoPro. Let's get GoPro. I don't know if they've done it in the new cameras, but talk to your friends there. At GoPro.
It doesn't have to
Get-
be just a white card.
Get the
It could be
ability
any
to
color you
name.
want to try to do balance off of. Yeah, there you go. That's how you roll out of that one. Yeah.
I like how
Took me
your
a while.
camera
I'm like,
dips
wait,
with
why
you when you
would
do
you?
that. That's hilarious. I like your motion moving camera. You do that.
Yeah, my camera's a gimbal, so it follows my
That's-
face.
Oh, it's actually your camera.
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say,
super
I
cool.
have,
That's tricky.
That's badass.
Do you
If
got that?
you guys have
do you
a
tune the bids on it?
broadcast card, if you have a broadcast card, you can or a NVIDIA card, you can use NVIDIA Broadcast.
You mean NVIDIA?
There you go.
That's the one. I think.
NVIDIA.
Huh,
But
Nvidia. I
it'll,
like Nvidia. Nvidia sounds like a beauty skin product or something.
Yeah, the
Yes,
whole mustache surrounded by beards. That's hilarious.
So, Dan, you were asking something about
I'm growing one too.
Oh, yeah.
you
The
didn't
thing
know
I
if the
hate
Hero
about the
12 could do
GoPro,
something.
I want to be the ability to name the custom settings. You know, you have your custom settings. You choose which one you want. It's just like custom 1, custom 2, sports. It's like, God damn it! I want to name the thing for like. I want to have
I'm
like
sure that
overcast day, sunny day.
Could you imagine trying to type on that though? That would suck.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Insta360 link.
Yeah.
That's the kind of camera I had my cinema camera set up on my desk because I did an interview a while ago, and I wanted to be all overkill with it. But
It sounds
couldn't
like the
see half my
GoPro
monitor,
could
so.
do something through that quick app though, where you could just name the settings though, and like do it from
Oh,
there.
maybe.
You know, you don't
Yeah.
but
You
it
need an
has to
iPhone
be
to
done
do that,
through the
don't you?
camera.
the name only applies if you can stay connected
I
to
can
the
do it through my
GoPro while you're
Android.
flying around.
I can do that with
Damn.
mine for a little bit. I mean, when I'm doing small stuff.
You need the iPhone though.
But
for
that's
that,
the
don't you?
Wi-Fi,
The
right?
GoPro
I
app.
know Android. I'd use Android.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use mine.
Not
on
all
Android.
Android does,
Yeah.
but
I had
Oh,
lost
yeah, I
what
did
you
hook
guys
mine
are
up to my
talking
tablet.
about.
We're stoned. It
I
happens.
only know about doing the quick app with the GoPro only because one of my friends around here like decided one day he's like, here, I'll just do it for you, and did it on his phone. And then
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, dude, like I didn't even know you could do that. And then because I thought my phone was a piece of shit, and it is a piece of shit, but basically he walked me
Well-
through it, and I was like, oh, well, fuck, okay, like this is way easier.
Obviously, what I do with GoPro relies heavily on GoPro Labs firmware, and I will be releasing a tutorial that is going to go super deep into GoPro Labs. Probably more than what most people are going to need, but I'll be able to explain what each of the values do and how it affects the image.
Cool, awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that because I'm definitely
yeah.
obviously going to be trying harder and harder to make my footage even better and better looking, right? So it's going to be the same spot next year, so I got to make it better next year.
Woohoo.
And that's cool because you'll have like a visual, like a straight up place to place to see the difference, you know.
Yeah. I can literally show 2 videos that would be the exact same location, and you wouldn't even notice it. You'd be like, "What? There's no way."
Yeah, winter
You'd
changes
see a little
everything,
bit.
eh?
You'd be like, well, "No, but I mean year to year, like over a year."
Yeah, that's what I
span
mean.
for,
Like the
same-
season.
Yeah. And we've been getting less and less snow up there every year, and we've noticed it in the last. I've been flying long range up there for the last 2-3 years, I think, and yeah, it's been crazy. Like so much less rain, and so much less snow actually up here. It's weird.
Madness. I think we got some of your rain because it's been raining for like 3 weeks here.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've had it for like a week.
I've
We've
had
been lucky to
no
have it.
flying.
We had
I flew
Lambo
today
says,
though.
3 days of
Marcel
rain, but
mustache
the
surrounded by
last few
beards.
days-
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
about
of
3
it.
days.
I got to
So-
take the air to us out and fuck around with it today. That's
This
pretty.
is an
nice.
example
Nice, I guess.
of one of the shots from one of my videos that I want to do some color grading for and really do a nice kind of blow up image of. This shot is taken, but I also have another shot I couldn't find of it actually wider screen because I did use the GoPro 10 with the Max Mod lens, so it actually has like the wider stretched out view of it. That I would use
Stretched
in
out.
whatever that frame is called, right? I don't know. You guys.
Nomad, do you have a still of your node tree?
Not handy, no. I don't always use
That'd
the
be
same node
interesting
tree.
to
I have the
see.
same basics, but that's
yeah, obviously,
that was
depending on
something
the
I was going to
shot,
talk about when I
everything.
start getting into the color grading tutorials that I want to do. Is there are a lot of colorists, both professionals and just amateurs who are really good on YouTube, who tell you this is how you have to have your node tree, or you're not doing it right.
What the hell's a node tree?
Yeah, what is that?
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
a fun way to edit. Yeah.
So in DaVinci Resolve, I might actually be able to open this up and share my screen and show you guys. Hold on.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what a final edit, like what your node tree looked like.
Let me see if I can open
So is it like the layers, like filters and it's like layers, right? Correction layers and
Yes, it's
adjustment
kind of
layers.
everything. So like it's just a different way to color grade, but like see nodes doesn't just apply to color. Node using nodes works.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It's just a type of workflow that
Hmm.
translates between programs very well. Like I use nodes in Blender 3D. I use nodes in Unreal. I use like new, and it's a tree and a way of building what you want that you can interact with every different piece as an individual if you set it up right.
Yeah.
Like if
Okay.
you edit stuff on a timeline, you're kind of limited on what you can adjust, and when you're adjusting it, it's kind of working on a whole. Whereas if you're using a node tree, each node is its own. It's kind of like are you guys familiar with Docker at all?
No.
No.
Is it kind of
Well, then
similar
no.
to like adjustment layers when you're doing stuff to different video layers? Adjustment layers, I know pretty much.
I mean,
a lot
yes,
about.
it
Sounds very similar-ish.
it works in layers, but it's just kind of like it's more
It's
than
different
that.
layers in different places. Different
It's-
layers
Yeah,
in different places.
different things for different layers for different stuff. It's just
It's
like
not layers, it's branches. You're talking about branches more than layers or something?
pretty much, yeah, exactly. It's more of a tree than it is layers. Like
Interesting.
I'm trying to think of
No,
a
I'm
good
not gonna
example
sleep.
that would simplify it. That
The beans is back. He's
like-
warmed up the
The
beans.
Beans is back in town. What did I miss? Oh, you should have seen it, Brandon Beans.
it's just
Right,
it's
it was
basically a
dancing.
way of editing that allows you a bit more detail, because instead of
Hmm.
changing things as a whole, you can go down and change it individually. Like I don't know, it's just, and it's easier to replicate because you can just copy a whole fucking node tree and use the same node tree but in a totally different manner. Like yeah, that'd be worth a video
We'll
to
figure it out.
explain that. Yeah, a good way to explain.
No
Yeah, I'm
worries.
trying to find
Fire
one of my
up, okay.
projects where I've got a good node tree to show you guys.
Photo.
To a stoner, I like just think about weed stuff when you say a node tree. I'm just like,
That's
how
it's
much
really
do you think?
it's kind of like, okay, it's just a different way, a different
about months and
workflow. Like
shit,
we're
or
all
what?
used to seeing things on a timeline and seeing things linear, where
Yeah.
nodes it breaks it down. Like
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
It's
right.
easier for me to
Really spliced,
explain
okay.
a VFX node tree than it is a color grading node tree. You
I
know,
hear you.
because with VA like because you can do all VFX shit on the timeline if you really wanted to. It would just be kind of janky, and you wouldn't be able to dial in
That's right.
movements or replicate them as easy. You know.
All right, let's see if I can do this. See if I can do this
I do
here.
know some jank.
Don't show these tips again.
He doesn't have a
Come on.
webcam.
Somebody
with an
behind
awesome
you.
Background.
There's somebody behind you,
Bum,
Nomad.
bum,
The call's coming. The call's coming from in the house.
bum.
Okay, so don't mind the media offline. I did some spring cleaning and got rid of a lot of conformed video. So
All right, porn.
can you guys see my
Everybody
node tree
watch
here?
Porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Ah.
Pornhub,
basics
but
are-
it's like porn tree.
I have a specific node for my white balance, and that's so that nothing else I do will affect my white balance node.
Yeah.
And then what you'll notice
Right.
here is I've got 3 channels that I split my nodes into and run in parallel. The first one that I start with is my ground node. So basically, here's where I do the masking. I mask the ground, and then I'll do my normal corrections on top of this node. And then I'll take the sky, I'll generate another parallel node, and I'll take the mask from here, but I'll invert it in this node. So then I'm only affecting the sky.
sense.
And then I'll do another sky node here for like more of a creative look. Same thing with the ground. I'll sharpen the ground. There's actually nodes missing here. So what I usually have is I have a highlights and a shadows node for like doing a split tone, like orange and teal, for instance, right? And my shadows, I will isolate the shadows, but isolate from the original gamma corrected white balance image, not my high contrast ground. And that way I don't dick with any of the detail here. I don't cause the shadows to come up to the point where I lose the detail in the shadows, but I still get the good coloration. Same thing with the highs, but I only do it to the ground. I don't touch the sky after I've done these corrections. And I mix it all together in parallel. And then normally, like, I would have like a vignette or something, either a vignette node after the parallel, or I'll just use an adjustment clip. If I, for instance, if I have to cache something that's really difficult, then I'll cache it and I'll just use an adjustment node so I don't have to cache it again.
Yeah.
So, not the best example
really-
in the world because my footage is gone, so I can't actually show you what it looks like, but I
all
could
good.
pull it in a
Yeah.
file.
And as you can see, like he was able
think I
to
get it.
use the same video, but
Right.
able to split each of those things up and do them individually. Whereas if you did that on
Yeah.
like the timeline, he would have to have 3 different video channels.
Yeah, well, if you think about
have all the
like
adjustments,
layers in
but, yeah.
Premiere or After Effects, right? If you did your white balance in a layer, and then you did a contrast correction in the next layer, then you did a creative look in the layer above that. If you went and changed something in your, your corrections layer, it would affect what happened in your creative look, and you'd have to go back and fix
Yeah.
that. By running
Screw
them in
with the
parallel,
contrast or whatever.
right? So there's a couple of reasons why I run them in parallel, especially when it comes to shadows and highlights, because anything I do to the shadows and highlights when I'm pulling that off the original white balanced gamma corrected image, it's not going to affect the contrast of the ground. It's not going to affect what I've done to the sky. But more
Makes
than that,
sense.
splitting the sky and the ground lets me get really high details in the sky without making the ground look like ass. Right. So, in fact, Marcel,
And that's
I
something a
posted
lot
a
of
link in
FPV
the
people
studio
should-
chat there. It's to that dive video that I have where you can really see what I've done with the sky, which you don't see people doing with GoPros all that often.
That's
Your-
when you said that, it made
Your
me
explanation
think of that.
helps a lot, actually. Your nodes explanation, it really isn't that different from Photoshop layers and editing non-destructively. You've
Right.
got, when I'm working on, if I was working
That's
on
what
a,
I was
a-
trying to think
a
of. It's
scene with a
more-
mountain in
more
the sky,
nondescript.
I would
Yes.
mask the sky, I would mask the mountain, I would mask the river. You know what I mean? And each one has its
Exactly.
own
Exactly.
adjustments and corrections on it. And they don't affect each other because they're
Yeah,
they're
and
masks,
that's
basically.
that's key, right? So
pretty cool.
like when you're taking the output of another node, whatever was in the image
Dude,
previous to that
Dude,
node,
you need to teach. Stop what you're doing and teach me how to do skies like that. Ah! This is why I'm
Damn.
here. Right here. Boom. You've
so
got
this
me
is
sold.
GoPro Hero
Right
11,
there. I will be your Padawan.
and this
Right.
this is what I feel sets me apart from other colorists
This is
in the
Hero
FP world.
11. Wow.
This is a Hero 11.
I need one more drink. I'll be right back.
He's gonna miss the best part about the sky. Do it. That's
Is
gorgeous.
this your
It's
edited
perfect.
footage we're watching right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Damn it. I hate you now. Those skies are perfect.
That's crazy.
This one was extra difficult because there were 2 storms right next to us, and I had a very small sliver of time where I could fly this cliff in between these 2 thunderstorms.
Where is this?
This is all over the place. This is, I think, Wyoming, like 10,000 feet MSL. So this was during the summertime. But it was our summer adventure. We drove all over the country, put about 8,100 miles on the rental car in 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest juicy flick in the world, being so far out from where I was actually flying from.
That was a good walk, eh? It's a good walk.
It would have been a decent walk.
Wow, these are nice spots, man. I'm jealous of your spots.
Yeah, man.
These are all like off the cuff. Thanks, dude. Yeah, this is probably my best work in the last 12 months, so that's why I like to show it off.
Nice. I saw Nomad.
You see the detail on the horizon?
Incredible. Incredible.
Perfection. Is this with help with that AI doing the masking for you?
Yeah, it's the magic mask. It doesn't necessarily do it for you, but it's way easier than rotoscoping.
Yeah.
It's a little bit finicky.
It just makes it.
It took me a long time to figure out how to get it to do what I wanted it to do.
Look at the sky.
Now I can get these split grades done in minutes.
Nice.
Well, I think I might be sending you some work, maybe. Thank God.
Magic Master
Down
dope
for it.
because
That's right.
you can do it between objects or people. Like you can tell it to mask just an arm, like
Yeah. That doesn't work as well as it should. Like the people.
No, I usually use object when I'm doing
I just use object because the people one it acts completely different. It sticks it sticks your strokes to the object and tries to track it that way, and it's super janky. So
and I feel like with object tracking, I get better. Like it keeps the shadows, whereas person tracking like really doesn't like different lighting at all. I've had it cut like the bottom of somebody's forearm before and shit, and that's funny.
Hilarious.
I think next time I'm just gonna cut somebody's forearm.
Just do it,
Yeah.
Just do it in real life.
Gangsta.
That'd be gnarly
The
wound.
5S. The 5S. Does your
What's
wife
that?
fly? Does your wife fly?
Yeah, she does. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's the trick. He doesn't fly. She does. He just puts the goggles on, moves. She gives him like
She
your little
doesn't
brother.
fly
You give him a
FPV.
controller plugged in.
She flies an Air 2S.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So yeah, she doesn't have a desire to get an FPV, which is totally cool.
Yeah.
She's been crucial in some situations, getting some good stable B-roll with the drone.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, they totally work together, for
she's
sure.
quite the pilot with that drone. Much softer on the sticks than I am because I just want to pinch grip and all over the place.
Yeet around.
So
It's different flying with that for sure. Like I used to carry my Mini 2 with me. 1, because that was the best one I had, and 2 is just small enough to always keep on me. And it's nice to have, like, you roll up to a spot while everybody's unpacking or figuring stuff up. You just toss the Mavic in the air. 1, you're getting some rad B-roll, and 2, you're doing some scouting. You're seeing what you got around the area.
Well, we had a MIDI 2, and then it got stuck in a tree like 200 some feet up. So there was no getting it down. And so we waited a month, and there was a big storm that came through that blew it out of the tree. So when we went back to where I marked the GPS coordinates when I found it, went back to where it was previously stuck, and it was just sitting on the ground. So it had 2 broken arms and some water damage. So I'm digging the guts out of it and turning it into a sleeper FPV drone. And I'm going to use the original motors and props.
That's awesome.
Fun.
I've always thought it'd be cool to do take everything out of a Mavic and put it onto a carbon frame. Like that'd be fun.
I think that'd be
Could
just
you
as boring
imagine?
as if it wasn't. Though.
Yeah, It'd
be
just be
heavier.
funny because yeah.
I mean, if you think
What
about
what would
those
happen if you
polycarbonate
just
bodies are so light,
Go ahead.
the tuning would be off on the DJI flight controller. That's for sure.
You'd get warnings, yeah. Like it'd be throwing warnings for sure.
It'd be freaking out.
What if you put like what if you took like your Mavic Mini and you put like a set of like F60s on it or something like that?
Yeah,
Like
right.
T-motor F60s. on a
Beast ass
Mini.
motors on it.
The thing would just like
Damn.
flip out, eh?
On
42
2S.
15s with 5-inch props on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to space them though, so they're one above the other because they touch.
So earlier we were talking a little bit about the long range footage that I was taking. This is the video from last year, one of the 3 videos I did of Anabicus Mountain. This is a collaboration video, 3 flights, 3 views, 3 different areas. Again, the footage that I did for the Choose Your Own Adventure is 2 different spots. Technically 3 because there is the Bando situation within that Choose Your Own Adventure if you got into that ending. But this is a quick little 3-minute edit of last year's area. So it does look very reasonably the same. If you do notice, because I've obviously been there, so it obviously looks a little bit easier for me to notice details. But so yeah, it's the video from last year of the same mountain, different cuts from different spots. But yeah, enjoy.
You know, the
How
thing
is
that,
Bears out there?
Sorry?
So do you see bears out there ever? I feel like this looks like bear country for sure.
We haven't, just goats.
Just
There's
go.
not
Bears,
really much
twinks,
living up
otters.
there. Yeah, boats are. Bears are more closer to the water.
what the
down on the river
Dan,
and stuff.
that hit my brain sideways, dude. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
did you just
right.
see
I was like,
fucking
wait a
twinks?
second.
Otter up there. Yeah.
Twinks and otters in here?
Man.
Yeah, the bears don't
Oh,
go up
boy.
too high. It's you see sometimes you see like elk or deer and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Same switch.
That's hilarious.
Here's a question for you,
That's cool.
Nomad.
Yeah.
That AI masking, can it automatically do that shadow line that the mountain is casting the shadow across the ground? Could you lighten up the left and leave the right? know?
You could track that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
mean, if
how
you
does it
wanna
do
get
with those
anal
fuzzy
about it.
edges?
It
How does it
do
do
pretty
those
well.
fuzzy
You can
edges?
choose the softness and stuff if you want. Like it's
Yeah,
You can
it
tune
does
it
some
pretty well.
automatic refine. You can mess with the consistency. You know, you can clean whites, clean blacks. You can blur the edge. I mean, I do a lot of post filtering on the mask, so because sometimes it'll flicker in the edges when the color differences get really soft, and I like to hide that just by doing some post filtering. But it also helps blend, like there's not a hard line between the high contrast sky and the relatively low contrast ground that also has different gamma values, because one of the things I do to my sky is I tank the gamma down. So when you look straight up with the drone, the sky's almost black, which is a really cool effect. But if I did that on the ground, you wouldn't be able to see shit.
Yeah.
So I have to blend them together a little bit at the horizon.
Yeah.
Did we lost off axis, didn't we?
Yeah, I was
Did
just
he just
wondering
rage-
about that.
Did he just rage quit?
yeah, he's out.
He's done.
He's
out.
going to hunt Sam Squatch.
Yeah.
Bears, twinks, and otters. God.
No beavers.
No beavers. Beavers not allowed.
They're at the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for those Canadian glacier gators too.
Glacier
You know, the thing
gators.
about mountain dives and long range mountain flying like that, and it's nothing against the flying or the footage at all, but GoPros do not do the altitude any justice at all. Like some of the mountains that I dove were really high, and they don't look that high when you're going down.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's
the
'cause
wide
of
angle
lensing.
Yeah, the wide angle steals that perspective away, so it looks like,
Well, that-
oh, you're going up a little hill. That's cool. And like I'm over 10,000 MSL. My props are struggling to find some grip. I'm out of breath just standing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, Marcel lost
That's
power.
funny.
We're still live, so we'll hold the stream for you, man, while it's
Yeah, we're
rolling.
here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody get your dicks out.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
no.
Ombre.
Oh, whatever.
Well, that's like if
Yeah.
when your video does that, that's kind of you have to build a story, show like bits and like pieces of you making your way up the mountain to dive it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did with
highlights,
Dive. There was another video using similar clips from the same trip that I called Soar, where like the build up in the music, when the music, went into its main act, I just used turning over and diving onto the mountain as the transition, as opposed to a hard cut. And that definitely helped, the story, because all the clips leading up to that were clips approaching the mountains or hills, right? Well, in Dive, that was the case. They were all approaching the objects I was flying around. And then, with the music, I transitioned into the dives, and I used one of my super fast, might not be entirely legal, I'm not sure. But basically, I dove a Firewatch tower in Montana. Was that Montana or Wyoming?
Nice.
The Firewatch tower?
Is there a difference? To all those in Montana and Wyoming, I apologize.
I don't know. There's like 17 states or something like that, so we don't know where anything is anymore. But yeah, buzzed the Firewatch tower on the way down the mountain. But that was a lot of fun.
Was there anybody in it?
I don't know. If there was, scared them out of their pigtails.
I dove a little while ago, but it wasn't really. I was just a little bit above the tree line, so it wasn't much of a dive.
Marcel's in the green room, Dan.
Okay.
You got to let him
like that.
in. You're the boss now, man.
I am?
Apparently.
Okay.
Apparently, yeah. I don't know.
I can't do shit about it.
I don't even know what the green room is.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's what happens when you mail your pancakes.
You mail your pancakes?
Well, you weren't here for that.
Or because you don't.
If I go, all right, I'm gonna go leave studio, but with that, I'll try to come back, I guess.
Why do you have to leave
All
studio?
right.
We're losing all
Isn't
the
that how I
money.
get to the green room?
He's in
Get
the
to
green room. You got to bring him here, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know.
I think you have to be logged into StreamYard to do that. Are you logged in?
Which I'm not. As far as I know, I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
That's what he's.
No, add.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
want
add
to
you.
add him.
Look at me.
Look
This
down
is
in
our
the
stream
settings
now.
or something. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah, this
damn.
is ours
See,
now,
mute.
Marcel. Yeah, you
Settings.
left.
Add.
Snooze
I don't know how
lose.
to add them.
There's a having issues button.
It's ours now. Yeah, you got to pay the toll.
Yeah, I got no way to help. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna sit here and make jokes.
We're holding this hostage now. This is our stream.
If I leave the studio, will it end the stream?
Yeah,
I don't know
dude.
what it'll do.
I don't think it will.
We'll find
All right,
out.
I'm gonna give that a whirl.
Stream when we all leave, or somebody hits, or like somebody who's logged in will.
Must be
I don't
logged
see
in a different name.
I don't see how to add you, Marcel, unless I leave the
I
studio.
need an adult.
Yeah. Anybody in chat? Riot knows everything. Turn it off and on, Riot says.
This is why I don't use StreamYard.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
Press the tiny
Tiny
button.
button. Yeah.
What
Oh,
tiny
no.
button?
Not
Where's
the
the
big one,
any
the
key?
tiny one.
The tiny button.
It's the
That
control
helps.
key.
All right, I'm gonna leave the studio. That's the only thing I can think of.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Oh, it can't end. If I leave the studio, will it end, Marcel?
It's going
I
to
don't
go
think so,
forever now.
because-
He can't end it. It's just going to go forever.
How do I how do I get to the green
New
room?
tab. Oh, yeah, right. New tab. Don't leave.
tab what?
Nobody can join. He said don't leave.
No. Until I let them.
If I
Open
don't
a
We
new tab
literally can
and
hold
log
this channel
into
hostage,
StreamYard.
can't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he could log into his YouTube channel and stop the stream that way.
Yeah.
stand by. I might
Let's just
join
go on and
twice
on.
here. Don't leave. Nobody can join until I let them. But you can't get in.
He's not
Okay,
admin.
Oh, what the
I
comments?
can-
YouTuber right here? I just realized that.
Oh, yeah. You can click on the comments on the right there.
Yeah.
I-
That's
you can
The
get
StreamYard is
comments and
pretty
Oh, shit.
nifty.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
I don't. I have to
Oh, but
log
I'm not-
into
They're a
StreamYard.
little bit behind
connecting my
YouTube, but
YouTube
not by
account.
much.
Yeah.
I just got the
do
YouTube
that
chat popped out.
Yeah, I have that on my other monitor.
Ooh, fancy boy.
My account. I'm in my account. Team settings, referrals, find guests. Find guests? Home, library, destinations, members. There's nothing here.
What happens if you come back here and refresh this page now that you're logged in?
You'll get stuck.
Because I can't get back in. I've got the StreamYard, my account open in another window, but it doesn't have
I'm just
anything
waiting
on
for
there
Dan to freeze and then disappear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything just
Yeah.
Just clicking random shit in there.
As long as I don't, yeah, I just have like StreamYard, home, library, destinations, members, streams and recording, upcoming and past. There's no sign of this current stream. Find guests.
It's his.
We don't exist.
Like StreamYard never anticipated that the host of the stream was going to lose power. So like we're in this nether realm. It's
In a
never going to
weird
let
window,
YouTube
yeah.
go.
Right.
Does this mean we can
Nobody
never
can get
go
back
home?
We're in the gray matter of stream.
We're beta testing. This is just a beta test.
Uh,
Can we
Yeah,
send him a
report
link to
log.
his own channel?
I'm not a host. I don't think I'm a host. I don't think I have the power you think I do, Marcel. I think I'm just
Yeah,
another
you.
bloke.
There you go. I
Hey,
just sent
we
Well,
finally got
since
rid of
Marcel's
the-
gone, we can talk
We
about
got
him.
rid of the mustache only
What do you
guy.
guys think?
Right?
What do you guys think about Marcel?
Beards only stream.
So yeah, I
Power
don't know what
loop
to
the
do.
stream into the
But
hardwood.
hey.
I love it.
If I was gonna get stuck in an elevator, I'd prefer it with you guys.
Oh snap!
I like how Marcel can talk to us in the chat.
Right?
Stream
We
Lab.
just narrate.
Yeah, I
what's
don't know how
happening.
that works.
He's like logged in, but not logged in.
Wanna be Mr. Steele, Riot says, but the mustache. Oh, Mr.
Marcel
Steele
got
wants to be like Marcel.
Netherrealm. He's fucking chilling in the neither.
I just have the homeless sheet going on. This is not a style I chose. This is a style out of apathy.
Yes, same here.
My pandemic
Marcel's
homeless
power
sheet.
went out, and we've lost him as a host, and now we have no way to invite him back in the stream because I'm not a host. None of us have admin powers. The only guy with
If you
admin
die in the
powers.
stream, do you die in real life?
Yeah,
Dang.
exactly. Gray chic.
I guess.
Yeah, I
beard
bet you if you
one.
grew a beard, there'd be some gray in it, Riot. Oh, so
All right,
yeah, I don't know
Marcel,
what to
Beards
do.
one.
Yeah, Beards one. StreamYard does not like your mustache.
No.
It has spoken.
He's all out of AOL discs.
Oh no.
Awesome.
Pretty much. I was just saying to Riot the other day, I had a buddy in college who went all 4 years on free internet from AOL discs. He just kept like getting different credit card numbers and canceling it when the month was up. He went all 4 years
God.
of college in the dorms for free internet.
Nice.
He's probably, I think the last time I heard he was in jail now anyways, so
Oh,
he was a thorough, he always had some sort of scam going on.
He's gonna try to relog in.
Well, let's
Do it. Do it.
duty.
let's do
I
this.
bet you
It's
won't.
raining so hard here. Yeah, let's see what you got, boy.
Well, if we all disappear, it's been fun.
It has been fun. I've learned a lot. Marcel was like, "Yeah, maybe you could teach some people about color grading videos." I'm like, I'm such a beginner. And then there's like, but Nomad's coming on. I'm like, yes. Yeah, I'm a total beginner when it comes to video. Ooh.
Fun times.
Well, what time?
Who
It is
did we
11.
lose? We lost 608.
608's gone too?
Gone.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he says in
Uh-oh.
the chat, I clicked on the screen.
Clicked on.
Oh,
You just
no.
clicked on the screen, just randomly.
Oh no.
Uh,
It's a war of
Oh,
attrition
uh-oh.
now.
It is. It's like that game for like the radio where like people put their hand on the car. The last
I
person
feel like
to,
I'm on top of the world.
take their
Right.
hand off the car wins. Oh, yo. I don't know what to do. Yeah,
Oh
I
man.
haven't completed any streams or recording.
Well, I really appreciate being invited here and you guys picking my brain.
Thanks for your help. Yeah, exactly. You'll probably get
It
a
is,
message from me in
and
the near future.
honestly, like I've been. Hey, Marcel made it back in.
Oh,
Sorry,
hey,
maybe in a way.
Something's
how do you do
happening.
that?
Something's
This-
happening.
The Magic Man. It's the mustache. Oh, too
Is
bad
it
you couldn't do
though?
like.
What up, Belt?
There.
Oh,
There he is.
he's phoned in.
Hey, Belt's here too.
Whoa.
Oh,
What's up,
there he is in the
everybody?
dark. He looks threatening in the
Literally.
dark there, doesn't he? He looks like a
Ugh.
ne'er-do-well. I would not want to run into you in
The
a dark alley.
apocalyptic
looks like-
Marcel.
He looks like he knows how much Sudafed you can get for a catalytic converter.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Exactly. He
Dude, so
knows.
I'm pretty sure there was an accident or something. There's a shitload of rain outside. It's literally pouring cats
Oh, no.
and dogs and shit. I can go
Why
outside
don't you
later
turn
if
the
you
light
want.
on, dude?
Dude, this is the only light I
Carbon
have, bro.
cage.
That's all I got.
Lit
only
some
got
candles,
3
make it all
cells,
nice and
bro.
romantic.
I got to charge some
Right,
light
right.
bulbs.
That's funny.
Yeah, plug some lipos
No.
into some LEDs.
Yeah, they're all at 3.8, bro. I got to take them
I'll
down
run
to
for a little bit.
3.2.
Oh, that
It was-
reminds
Yeah.
me, I still got to storage some batteries.
I was
I
saying.
guess I could do a live
be-
fly for you or something. That'd be cool.
There you go. There you go. I was saying to the group here before you came back on your phone. Yeah, I think it was a few weeks ago. I got real frustrated with the FPV community and how I felt like I didn't fit in, just in general, because my priority is all about the cinematic look, the color, and I'm not the greatest pilot in the world, and whatever, some people, my style of flying is definitely not for everybody, right? So Bot Grinder would not give a shit about my videos, right? But since I kind of made that complaint, I guess I've met a lot of people who have, expressed that. Holy shit!
Yeah, I
you're
get
back.
it.
Made a lot of people who've expressed that interest in what it is that I
I feel
do,
with my
the
phone.
things that I'm passionate
I'm
about.
upset.
So
I
Oh,
had
you
6
totally
weight
have a
backs
spot
with
there,
my
Hey,
man.
phone.
man.
Takes all
Back.
kinds.
I'm sorry you ever felt like that, but that's the cool thing about our
Right.
hobbies. If you look at it, there's so many different things that go into it to make it what it is, right? Like you have to know how to solder, basically engineer. You're building things, flying
I came
robots,
to the
and,
hobby
like,
with all of those skills in hand already. So like that, there was no adventure in learning how to do that for me.
well, yeah, I
It
know.
was just
I'm
the thing
just-
I did.
I'm saying that like that's the cool thing about our hobby is that there's kind of a place for everyone, and we have so many little pockets and groups within the hobby that there's there's groups that people haven't even heard of yet that are sitting there functioning on Discord right now that we don't even know of, that have their own little clique that are probably talking about the same shit we are right now,
Yeah.
and that's the cool thing
Yeah.
is that
I guess my interactions with the FPV community at large has been solely online because there's no other FPV pilot around me, like within a few hours.
Same
drive.
here.
yeah, I
So
can see that.
I've been at this. I've flown with other people twice in my entire life, so I mean it's been a very lonely thing for the most part, which
Right.
means I'm spoiled in some respects because I'm always 50 megabit everywhere, and fuck your bandwidth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, same
exactly.
here.
You don't have to
I-
change. That's-
I don't even know how to change
Similar.
the channel on my goggles.
Twisted's probably one of the people who's closest to me, and he's still 3.5, 4 hours out. And honestly, it was
Yeah.
funny. 'Cause we were all at Castle Crash, right? Twisted, Donnie, and myself. We all live. I think Donnie's like 6 hours from me, but we all
Yeah.
live, relatively close. But it took us driving all the way down to South Carolina for us to hang out.
Right.
Like that's like I'm 99% of my flying is by myself as well. But that's what makes
Yep.
doing the events
like-
and the meetups so much more enjoyable. It's like, okay, so a lot of FPV events are kind of like, I will say hectic. There's racing involved. Everybody's kind of being a place at a time doing certain things. Castle Crash doesn't have racing, and I think that's why it is such a chill environment. It is people just hanging
That's the
out,
purpose.
having fun,
It's meant to-
like, and and it's cheap. It's not like going to fucking IO or fucking Rampage where you have to pay hundreds.
How much do they charge for?
dollars.
Yeah,
$50
Rampage was
for the
like
whole
$300 or
weekend
something.
to chill at,
Yeah.
to camp at Castle Crash. They have water. They have real bathrooms. Like
real showers.
real showers. Yeah, a fucking restaurant.
Mm.
People show up to make you food 3 times a day, and it's bomb ass food, and it's cheap. Like
that sounds
like,
great.
Nice.
It's like I look at. I mean, obviously, Rampage is one of the ones that gets the most coverage in the community because everybody goes and it's Rotor Riot, and everybody wants to hang out with Lidge
But you want-
Rib
hey,
and
you
Bardwell, and it
hand
looks
job
like I look at that and it's like, it's not my crowd. I've been to some of the big
No.
meetups in Detroit. It's just not my crowd.
Right.
And
That makes sense.
I used,
Doesn't have to
so I kind of took that personally just to some degree where it's like, there are people who are posting goggle DVR footage and they're getting tens of thousands of views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? You put zero effort into it.
Yeah.
And while I'm over here trying my hardest doing SEO while making a quality, what I consider a quality product. So I think a lot of it was imposter syndrome. Like I figured that all of my taste was just in my mouth, and I wasn't actually good at what I do, despite having done it for so long. And then I met I've kind of stumbled into a huge group of people who were like, holy shit, this is so underrated. How have you only got like 500 subscribers or something like that? And still my videos only get like 50 views, which I consider that to be a good day, but I've never done this for the
That's a
money.
great day.
Never done this for the views, but like I'm getting a little tired of it. And I think it's just because I refuse to shill products or do ads. I don't monetize my channel, right? I'm just not that guy. And so the algorithm doesn't like that because I don't make YouTube any money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just do what the fuck you want, man.
It's I mean,
Don't worry
and
about
that's
the
that's
views,
that's the
don't worry
difference
about the
between posting
success.
online or trying to make it online, and that's a big thing. Is if you want to be successful on YouTube, you have to grind. It's not easy. You don't make good money off YouTube. You make good money off of the things that go and come around with YouTube. But like YouTube itself, you don't make a substantial amount of money. Like, and a lot of the times, the people who do make good money are grinding a hell of a lot more than 40 hours a fucking week to get that.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work.
I don't have that
big
kind of
time.
time. I still have a day job. I've always maintained a day job despite working in film and TV because it's never equated, like whatever success I've had has always been fleeting, and I've never had the confidence to step away from a day job, and thank goodness for that because there's always been such a downturn after some success where it's like I'd be homeless if I didn't keep my day job.
Sometimes you got to toot your own horn. You got to realize you are a professional, but you're showing it to non-professionals. Like you know the amount of work you put in, you know how yours is better than everybody else, but everybody else doesn't know enough about it to see the difference and understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that
quality in
is
that,
that's why I want to kind of focus on tutorials and sharing the knowledge because I mean, I didn't go to school for it. I didn't pay money for it, and there's no reason for me to just hold on to it all by myself. I mean, I have developed some workflows that I'm pretty sure nobody else is using. Nobody has dived as deep into the GoPro firmware as I have. So
I think
if I can at least
with your
inspire
editing
somebody who's
knowledge
I think I just want to inspire people, and kind of overall raise the quality of the content that's coming out of FPV.
I think
I want
with
to
your
slap the
knowledge
kids.
set,
I want to slap the kids who are just like #no stab. Like that's not something to brag about. We can tell. It's fucking obvious. We can tell. You don't need to tell us.
And that's another thing that I try to tell people too. It's like the only people who give a shit about freestyle FPV are freestyle FPV pilots. The normal population doesn't want to see flipping around that kind of stuff. They don't want to see it. It looks cool for seconds at a time, but to sit there and watch a 3-minute edit of it, normal people outside of our
several in a row
want to see that. Yeah,
right.
I think with your skill set, and the audience that if you take the FPV community as a whole as an audience, I think they're hungry for it. I think that you would find some success within this audience because I think most of us are nerds, right? We love the technical stuff. We love cameras. We love pictures. We love video. We love techie shit. You know, we like cranking out quality. Most people like YouTube and they want to get the likes and stuff like that. And they want to make better videos. They want to do it right. And nobody's out there teaching FPVers how to do great video.
I do think people
Nobody's
are
doing it.
hungry for
I haven't seen it.
a lot myself.
You
Like
know?
I don't consider myself.
Well, Rotor Riot claimed to, but
by
they
any means, but,
definitely
like,
screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, they might, if anything they're going to do is fluffy and on the surface, right? Because that's the kind of shit they do, right? But like you're saying, the deep dives and stuff like that, I think, you know, like I think there's definitely a hunger for it, you know, because I think most of us wouldn't mind improving our video skill set just a little bit. You know, I can't think of anybody who wouldn't love to learn something on how to video, because everybody's always talking about editing and color grades, and everybody's, you know, we're all looking at it. We all want to do better at it. I haven't met anybody who doesn't want to do better.
I see it from a slightly different perspective because I see a lot of the influencers who, you know, hashtag power of color grading, and really what they're doing is they're throwing a LUT on their footage and calling it a day. And for me, I find LUTs personally offensive. So, you know, I need a safe space. There's a time and a place for LUTs. Like if you have a workflow that you need to repeat, you can make your own LUT, but like selling a creative LUT, instead of, if you're going to sell something, sell the knowledge on how to create it, right? I'm going to give it away for free. So all those people selling LUTs can eat my whole ass.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh, we got some romance.
Said that with my whole chest.
Yeah. We got some broken hearts going on over here.
Yeah, for sure.
The attraction to
like
no stab is the pilots want to show off just how smooth they are on the sticks, right? They want to show off how controlled they are, and it's not jittering around. Their fingers aren't shaking. I get that, right? But at a point, like, okay, great. Obviously, you're a skilled pilot. You're diving through tiny little gaps in a building, in an office building, and you're going under cars and shit. I get it, right? It doesn't look good though, in my opinion, and that's just not for me. But like to brag about it seems weird. It's like I don't know. I mean, I can make my footage look like it hasn't been through gyroflow and still be stabilized. I've gotten. I think Riot was saying, you know, smooth on the sticks. I'm really not that smooth on the sticks. I'm precise when it counts, like hitting a gap or something. But I have such a light touch with the stabilization that you can't really tell that it's stabilized. I just look like I'm Bubby or something like that, and I'm not. I'm just a guy with a drone.
I'm a twitchy motherfucker myself.
Half the time I'm shaking, the other half I'm wondering how much shit is already in my pants. So
yeah. I still duck when I go through gaps sometimes.
you know, funny you say that. I'm gonna drop a link here. If you're able to, I don't know if you're able to play this.
You have to screen share, and then I have to accept the screen share. I won't be able to do much else.
Okay.
If you already have it like queued up on your screen or something.
Oh, well, I think I'm off
Blizzard?
for the night, fellas.
I have no power, Blizzard. I'm living off of phone.
Thanks for having me, guys. I learned a lot.
That's
so
Twisted, not
appreciate
Blizzard.
See you next week.
Twisted.
Have a good
Take
one,
care,
brother.
buddy.
Peace out, homies.
Take it easy. All right, let's do this here.
I'm hoping power will come back on, but we'll see how long it might take.
Good Midwest. Where do you live, by the way? You said you had nobody around you, but I didn't ask where that was.
Okay.
Wait, let me guess.
Nomad.
You're
about Sarah
from
again?
Iowa. Just a guess.
No, for real.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. I don't know if anybody can see it yet.
Not yet.
No, I have to. I don't see it.
Present. There's present at the bottom.
Well, it says StreamYard is sharing a window. So, but I think Marcel has to turn it on.
Oh God, I don't see how I can do that. I have only a few options on my side over here.
Okay, that's no problem. I'll just drop the link in chat, and everybody can take a look at it. If you want to talk about like ducking when you're flying. I have the perfect video for it. Where the hell did YouTube chat go? There it is.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, let me
I'll grab it from YouTube and I'll just put it as my picture real quick. Second.
What can I do here? Let's see. If you put it 6-way, if you put it as your picture, I can put you a solo layout.
Solo. What does the present button do?
That's it.
there's-
That's the
It's
screen
for
share.
screen sharing. Yeah, he's piping his desktop into his camera.
He's a madman.
It's so small. What is happening?
You hit that gear
Whoa,
button and
you
switch it to 4K before you hit play. I hate how YouTube does
Only
it.
like 720 on our streaming end anyway.
Yeah,
don't
but
see
every
much
pixel
more.
counts.
Maximize.
It's fine. It's not that long. Just hit play.
Yeah, just
All
give
the
her,
pixels.
drop the hammer.
Keep your branding on it.
At least I got subtitles.
Oh. I hope your
Well, I remember
GoPro's
the
not sticking
video.
up too high.
I definitely remember this.
Can you see my nipple underneath here?
A little bit, yeah.
What if you're getting?
See my
Is
chest
he gonna-
hair? Yeah, stream gets fucking stopped.
Did you hear props hit the wood? Like, did it? Like,
No, I
tick?
didn't have any contact. I thought
Wow.
for sure I was going to be showered with carbon fiber shards and a flaming battery, but I managed to squeeze through that. But I literally flinched. I ducked.
Half the time with a duck is why you'd crash. Yeah, what is it? Comma and period that go frame by frame.
I did one of those
Jeez.
kind of flights, and I actually smacked the
Camera
freaking
too?
metal, and you can hear the sound for like a kilometer. It was crazy.
I was absolutely certain I was going to die. I was absolutely certain I was
Nice.
going to die.
What did I?
We're
clip
gonna
the
we're
other
gonna
day?
analyze it.
Let me fly in.
Dude,
Oh, I
just
have a
fuck
couple of
up into my
sawhorses in my
body.
yard that I practiced doing loops under sawhorses. I clipped one with an arm the other day and did like the yaw spin from hell across the yard, like the frisbee.
What am I looking at here?
I mean, I must have
looking at a
been
park.
within an inch.
Of death.
Is it right here?
You're coming up on it. You just press play somewhere in there. He's moving quick, so it won't take long.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, this is after. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it turned out to be a fun video.
Yeah, it was sick, man.
You could
I like
feel
the video.
You could feel your brain makes you think that you feel the wind past your cheek of that.
I had
post.
to land and just call it a day at that point because my nerves were shot after that. I figured I'd used all my luck for the day, so I had like 4 packs left, and I was like, "No, we're done. Wrap it up."
Close, it disappeared.
Yeah, it's the same feeling as having too much caffeine. You just like, I just can't. No. Put me
Yeah,
over
that
the
is
tension
interesting. The
edge.
blur of that beam, it got
Disappears, man.
It's interesting how GoPro does motion blur. It's not like you would have in a film or a photography camera or a cinema camera. What it does is it takes a rapid number of stills and then stacks them on top of each other to get the motion blur.
Interesting.
Because if you're going really fast, really close to something, and then you have like a sharp light, like a reflection off of water, you can see the individual pictures that it took. So it's not true motion blur. That's not holding the shutter open or sampling the sensor for that amount of time. It's just taking rapid shots.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Gone are the days of film.
Thank God.
Aye. I do miss processing black and white film in the darkroom. That was the good old days back in school. 4x5 film with the big cameras. Oh,
70mm
living the
celluloid,
dream. Yeah,
silver
I
nitrate.
loved it. Yeah, everything we're doing, everything black and white, color, all by hand printing.
You have to
Ooh-wee.
do a transfer to
That's an
negative.
art. That's an art form. That's a crazy art form there. Printing and darkroom stuff.
I had a
Science.
dark room in high school, but I
Science.
never took that class.
Thanks.
I don't know if they were doing photography in your darkroom 608. I think it was just a dark room.
Just a dark room. Fucking
Yeah.
big ass.
Somebody didn't turn on the lights.
That's where the gym teacher was hanging out waiting for you.
Oh,
showers, man. We had showers there.
Oh,
Big bay
no.
ones, yeah.
So I don't know if you were able to collect any questions about the color grading there, Marcel, since you got knocked off and whatnot.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's not anything now on that side.
Yeah, if you got questions in chat, fuck, post them up.
No, but put your channel in the chat, will you? Put your link in there so we can all start watching you and asking you questions directly.
Absolutely.
If not, I'll tell you a spooky story.
Any one of my videos, if you're curious how I did something, please feel free to comment and ask.
For sure. For sure. I guess I could just click on your name and say go to channel, right?
I mean, whatever. It's your world, dog. I'm just living in it.
I always forget that's there. If your name is blue on YouTube, I can.
No, man. FPV Your World is our world. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's part of it.
Out of this world, dude.
Yeah, man. What is the YouTube link you shared?
Oh, that's my
Yours.
channel. I just didn't type it out here. I'll make it so
Oh,
it's readable so everybody.
Well, we
freaks
all
out.
moderators in the chat, so you guys can click on the 3 dots and add or go to channel, whatever, as well in the chat there for you.
I'll learn how to spell. There.
Spelling. It's overrated.
Spelling.
Well, I'm having a hard time typing because I have to pee really bad.
Oh, that's the worst.
I already went pee once or
what?
twice.
No, I haven't gone yet.
You hold there for 2.5 hours.
Every interview I do, when it starts, as soon as it starts, I have to pee, and I just hold it. I'm sure it's perfectly fine for my prostate.
It's exercise.
Yeah, man,
work the Kegels.
Yeah, I get confused all the time.
There we go.
As he takes another puff from the bong.
Make sure you subscribe to my OnlyFans.
I'm not sure if Brad and I subscribed to RedTube or YouTube. I'm not sure which one he picked. Cornhub.com.
Cornhub.
Well, he didn't want to type Pornhub in the chat.
Yeah, would YouTube say something about that? I don't know.
Probably, yes, because I'd be linking to a porn site, and they don't like that.
Oh,
Pornhub is totally fine. GitHub is especially spicy, though.
Yeah, it's where all the gits hang out.
I can't believe I can't help you guys share videos, present videos on here. That's weird.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's okay. You just sit there in the shadows.
Oh God! Don't exit. Nope. Okay, good. I'm here.
Doesn't he look menacing in the shadows there? He looks like he should have a shiv or something.
It looks like he's going to try to eat one of my kids.
Hey,
I can see why he got cast. I can see why he got cast as a pirate in that movie. It totally, he looks like a ne'er do well. He looks.
Everyone looks like a pirate. All three of you guys look like pirates too.
Make
Perfect.
a good
I did
Monty.
my fair share of software.
Monty, get you a red coat, man.
I'm kind of looking like Cmyk now from Hook.
Oh yeah, I see it.
People are going to throw ketchup packets at me as if, in case you ever get that food you're looking for.
Oh man,
you gotta wear a bandana, dude. Isn't he wear that in the?
Yeah,
I think so.
bandana hat. Yeah. Cover up the bald spot.
Riot has some strong feelings about GitHub.
Yeah. Riot has strong feelings about everything.
Phone number. Oh
Well, you
wow.
gotta like sign up. You have to sign up.
Number, geez.
Well, the reason
post?
is
So
they're
I can do
moving.
like a verification phone number thing.
You don't need to sign up to download. What they're doing is they're moving away from passwords into pass keys, which is typically tied to a phone number. If you don't have Apple or a Samsung or something like that, where you can do an actual biometric thing, then it'll do an SMS. So you don't need to have a phone number, but pass keys are way better than passwords.
It's getting
That's
harder.
what I do for my day job, guys.
I don't have a cell phone, so shit's getting harder without having that two-factor authentication. You know, I have my I have tablet. You know, I have a computer. I don't have a cell phone. I don't have enough cell phone number. So
You live in a cave?
Well, I just live out in the forest and I don't really go anywhere. So
Canada,
I don't
right?
really have to
You're up in
know where
Canada.
I am. Just where
It's
I am.
awesome,
Like if I
though.
went down the road to town, like just down the road, there's perfect signal, but I'm sort of like behind a hill and the nearest tower is way over yonder, and it's just really shitty. Like there's no point in me having a cell phone. Like it's just I'd be paying like $100 a month for what? Because I would do everything on Wi-Fi anyways. So you know, but I think I've got to get one now anyways because the way the world's going.
Yeah, for real.
Well, for those
There's a lot of
curious-
ways
I always
to it.
when I lived in Toronto, I had cell phone. I'm not against cell phones or anything. It's just up here. It's like
I work in cybersecurity for my day job.
You need it.
If you ask me, I'd rather get a ham radio license than get a cell phone at your point. Because the world we have a world
I have one of those
fuel
too.
point, right? Like really. I actually was getting a ham radio as well, so I've got a radio.
I'm sure the signal's gotten better in the last couple of years. I just haven't looked
9700
into it.
sitting right there on my desk.
Dude,
Don't need
it's
one.
so much worth
7300,
it
but
to
I sold
even know
it.
that shit. Just to have
Nice.
that knowledge, especially out here in the country where I'm at, it's you get like 3 kilometers into the bush and you lost cell reception. It's
Yeah,
not even
you gotta
far.
wait a little longer though. I mean, ham radio is still very much, at least the HF bands, very much,
Mhm.
overrun with the super old dudes who just want to talk about their doctor's appointment or what they had for breakfast or
Yeah.
how how demonic people who don't think exactly how they do are. So it gets pretty bad. It gets pretty bad, and it's just
In the
again
fighter,
not my
like,
crowd.
60 years, yeah, for sure. That's why it's like short range but long range. In that comparison, some channels are like you can go like we do. I have like a 4x4 friend group that fucking does their shit, and they told me about their channel that they use, so I use that one because it's shared by those guys and like nobody else really. There's barely any activity
So if
on
you
it
get
at
lost
all.
out in the mountains,
Well,
those are the guys you want to talk to, right?
But
I mean, yeah,
there's
you
also
want that.
emergency channel. There's also emergency channel. Yeah,
They
you can
don't
switch to
rescue
that.
you in their jeeps.
Those
On those
4x4s,
videos, you
you're
can
gonna get
listen
too
and
fast
talk
and
to 2 different channels at the same time too, as well, right? So, yeah.
So I need to use the bathroom, so I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself here for the evening.
Here,
I was
go
getting
pee.
late because I'm on the East Coast. So
Really good talking to you. Really
Dude,
good
I'm
talking to you,
surprised
brother.
you're on this late, but I'm only online because my power's not on right now. So if you guys want to take off, it's all good. I'm
I
just
gotta
waiting
head
for
out.
power to come back on. So
Dan, I think
I'm
you
just
should just
gonna
sleep in
chill.
front of your camera and don't let the stream drop.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
I got work to do still. I gotta
Yeah.
get onto the fashion photography world after this.
Yeah, I got to go
Okay.
fold my dishes. So
And then I have to Photoshop a slice of bread. That's
That's
another thing
a
I gotta
fucking
do.
good one. Sick.
It'd be really
Yeah,
sick
so,
if you just watched him fucking fold.
hit me up in the comments. I'm also in Marcel's Discord. Same
Sweet.
username.
Yeah.
So you can track me down that way. You want to ask questions, you want to shoot the shit, you want me to have
Oh,
a
I
go
will.
at a piece of footage, feel free.
It's not my Discord. It's
Oh, well.
FPV or World
I'll be
Discord. It's
bugging you.
everybody's Discord.
Well, you know what I mean.
Everyone's
You know what I mean. Anyway, thanks for having me, Marcel. Really appreciate it.
Hey man,
Ciao,
nice
man.
talking to you, meeting you, Nomad.
Thanks for coming in.
Take
We'll
care.
see you again another time.
Bye.
Do it.
I don't even know how to leave. I don't even know if I have a button for that. I can't even do anything over here.
That gimbal cam is sick.
So if I leave, it's over? I don't think it works like that, does it?
No, I have to leave and I have to
He's
end
the
it.
host now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch you back in here. But yeah.
What if we all left?
You
and
guys
it
have a
didn't
good
end?
one.
Take care.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Be good.
Peace.
Oh, Beans. Ciao, Beans. Ciao, Riot. FPV. All you dudes.
Fuck yeah.
Have a
Yeah,
good
if you
night.
guys have any questions. Just kidding. Yeah, any questions? Sounds like a divorce. Who's keeping the quads?
Come to Discord.
Dude,
Sounds
I've
like a
got no
divorce.
power, so I'm just gonna probably just stay on here until people fucking leave. But
That's
yeah, I
hilarious.
don't know, man. I might go outside and do a walk around at the end of this live stream just to show you how fucked
Go
up the
for it.
situation is right now.
I'll jump in the chat when I come back.
That's all right. I'll probably leave
See you
too
soon,
anyway.
man.
Yeah, all right. Take care,
Have a
buddy.
good night, guys.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. I will let's go outside and see what the fuck's going on. But thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.